was very much a problem of too many cooks. Yeah, except you replaced one of the O's with a C.
Alex.
Cameron.
Matt. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. Here's the song of the week. Start reading the news. I'm recording today. I want to be the very best podcast. These questions I muse on topics I weigh. Right from the very start of it, podcast. That'll do. There's more, but if you haven't got it by then, you're not going to get it.
Do you have any idea what that is, Cameron? The look on your face is saying, I do not. Is that New York, New York by Frank Sinatra?
It is the theme from New York, New York. Well done.
Yes. Okay.
See, I just want to explain myself to the viewers. Or the listeners, sorry. The viewers.
The viewers,
God
mate. The
damn
viewers are
it.
going to be having a great time. I'm one of them.
The listeners, whenever Matt sings, his audio to me, whenever he's singing, just goes straight up and then straight down. And I cannot, for the life of me, for the last few weeks, I have not been able to guess a single song.
It seems like a likely excuse.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think it just makes it sound like you're uncultured and you just don't know any good music, mate.
I appreciate Frank Sinatra. I've listened to him in many formats, such as Family Guy and more Family Guy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I think you're not helping your case here, mate. But no, fair enough. You know what? Maybe I should just start pre-recording them and send them to you before the show so you have time to guess.
Actually, that would sound much better. And then I've got no excuse.
Yeah, but also there's no way I'm doing that. That's way too much work.
He'll be holding his Soundhound app up to the speaker, trying to get Soundhound to guess it for him.
Come on.
I can't remember what the other one's supposed to be. Shazam, that's the one. Yeah.
Shazam,
yeah. No, but at least when Kirby doesn't get it, at least he just wears it on the chin.
What was it called in Watch Dogs? Sneak?
Song Sneak.
Song Sneak, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I immediately just thought of that, but...
Have you got that achievement, Cameron?
Shut up, Alex. It's the one I'm missing. But shut up, Alex.
I actually had a look at my Watch Dogs achievement list just before because I saw a session up for the co-op achievement. And I'm like, what do I actually have left in this game? I've got the fixer contracts and something else, and the drinking games.
Oh, they made the drinking games a lot easier, but they're still not fun to do. I remember when that first came out, like it was next to impossible.
I think I rage quit.
I did it when it was next to impossible, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
It's like me and my talent for racing games. It's just...
Drinking and racing, you're too...
Yes,
Matt, are you the most Australian man alive? Like, what is that?
If I'm the most Australian man alive, I think we have a problem as a society.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but sure. Now that you've laid it out there.
I mean, like, me and Alex both come from Victoria, so take with that information what you will.
Yeah, I mean, and Kirby's from the north, so... And I'm from the deep south. Southeast.
He's a bit weird up there. He's flouting his no restrictions, limited restrictions. Whereas we can't leave the house more than an hour a day.
Yeah, it's going to put a dome over the entire state to seal you in.
I love that the only reason I can leave my house is basically my job. Well, I get to deal with all the fun people.
I was talking to you guys just before the show about the gaming chair that I just bought. It's going to cost me $40 to get it delivered. That's the delivery fee. The shop that I wanted to do a click and collect from, that's in my zone, doesn't allow click and collect for this. So I think it's dispatched directly from the manufacturer, and like Officeworks pick it up from them and deliver it to you, and they make a little bit off it. But Office Works is 6 kilometres from my house.
Oh, no.
There's a 5 kilometre restriction
Oh, no.
for the next 5 weeks. And JB Hi-Fi was the one that wouldn't deliver it, so I can't click and collect
Mate,
it.
essential travel. You need a
I was
road
going to say,
share.
mate, it's a work-related travel, right?
Yeah, not quite. Yeah. Oh, we better get into the show. If you did know, that's wait, no, we don't do the Song of the Week competition anymore. I
No,
almost
but-
tripped up on it.
But Kirby will be sending through the previous songs of the week that were in the competition, and we'll be drawing the winner for last month, which is, drumroll please, Hawkeye Barry 20.
Yes.
Congratulations, mate. You
job,
you got the song, and also here are all the other songs I'm going to edit in here and definitely edit over this part. I can keep my games to myself. Think I'll dust them all, put them up on my tag. In case my baby game's all I need. Am I winning out of left field? Ooh, I'm achieving just for kicks now. I've been feeling it this 2006 now. Might be over 1 mil, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm achieving just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 2006 now. Might be over 1 mil, but I feel it still. I feel it still.
Can keep my hands on myself. Think I'll dust them all, put them back up on the shelf. Kiss my little baby girl is in need. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. I've been feeling it since 1966. Might be over now, but I feel it still.
Listen to the walkthrough, watch the score rise. Running in your server, damn your boost, damn your time. And if you don't play me now, you will never beat me again. I can still hear you saying you would never complete this game, never.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise. Run in the shadows, damn your love, damn your life. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. If you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain.
I know a thing or two about grinds. I know they'll only make you cry. They'll let you get some easy chivos. But when you're done, they'll patch more in. Everybody says it's easy to do, but the ratio is 7.2. Suffer!
She's looking good, and the lady knows it's understood.
I can see it on my shelf in a steel bookcase. It's been grinding my gears, putting lines on my face. Seriously, you better take care. If you play Gears of War, it'll take you 10 years. Seriously, you better take care, 'cause I'm grinding 3.0 with 1,000-yard stare.
I can see her lying back in her satin dress in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs.
Ain't no fun times playing cards. It's just boosting every day. Ain't no fun times playing cards. And these prestige take too long every time I play the game. Wonder when it'll all be done. Wonder if they'll add DLC. Ain't no fun times playing cards, and the zombies make me bored anytime I play the game.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Nailed it.
Oh, well, we also have a Patreon. If you would like to get in and support us, we would really appreciate that. You can find our Patreon page at patreon.com/realgamerscore. Kirby's been kind enough to draw the winner prior to the show, and the winner was What the Fug. So get in touch with Kirby. He'll get you something that he can play as well.
You're saying that Hawkeye Barry gets a drum roll and Fug doesn't?
No,
What is this?
Fug's not getting a drum roll.
He
You
doesn't
kidding
want
me?
a drum roll. He's no
he
nonsense
doesn't.
Fug. He's like, get in, get this done, and then we can get on to the
Matt-
next thing.
Matt's going to insert a guitar solo here, whether it be air or normal,
Sure.
and you do with what you will with that.
I'm not doing any of those things. And if you're listening to this, I haven't edited any of this. In fact, if I am putting a guitar solo, it's actually going to be over Cameron saying that he wants a guitar solo, so you can't hear him say it.
The appreciation I get for being on this podcast.
If you would like to join us in the Discord and post your favourite guitar solo, you can do so. You can find the link to join us at discord.io/realgamerscore. Discord is an app where you have many servers. Ours is obviously the best. You come in and join us. You can chat to us, post pictures, GIFs, everything. GIFs have been going crazy this week as soon as everyone realised that you didn't need to use the .gif bot. So that's good. Kirby's been especially
it's the best
enjoying
and worst
it.
place on the internet, really.
Yeah.
I can do it from my mobile now. On the
Oh,
go.
boy.
Makes
Exactly.
it so much easier.
Yep. All right. You can also join our random to-do list competition. So random to-do list is a list of 25 random locked achievements. It's governed by your game collection on trueachievements.com. If you would like to get a list, you can get in touch with Chin Doctor or Tarragon or Freemhole, and they can run you a list. In order to join our random to-do list competition, you need to unlock one achievement and answer a trivia question. So the winner for the previous month, Cameron, do you want to do the little guitar solo intro for that?
I was going to get a triangle.
Oh.
Matt, insert the triangle.
Or is it a square? Or is it a? I mean, look, I'm shape agnostic.
I thought you were going to just insert some crickets based on that. Matt,
Oh,
insert the
yeah.
triangle crickets
I'll,
ringing.
I'll just shake my drink up and down furiously. There we go.
All right,
That's
all right,
some prime
all right.
audio.
Okay.
listening.
All right, Mr. Shake Weight, calm down.
The winner for the month of July is Ben L72. So get in touch with Chin as well, and he will distribute your prize. The new prize is Shopkeep. The question is another game with the word keep in the title, and only keep, not keeper, keeps, anything like that. Keep, Keep. So, I was going to say, don't use the one, and it actually is it's got keeping in the title. So, yeah, maybe I won't answer the question for you. Okay. So we can get into some news. There's a little bit of news about this week, but it's interesting nonetheless. So there was a picture that was shared on Twitter about apparently more confirmation of the Xbox Series S. So I think it was a couple of days ago.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. The worst kept secret. Like Fable being worked on.
I was going to say, it'll be a bundle deal. You get both.
Yeah. So there was a picture of a white Xbox Series X controller, but then someone apparently put up a picture of a box of... Actually, this isn't in the article I'm looking at. I saw this one on Twitter today. But someone put up a box where it's got Xbox Series X and then a line and S, indicating that it works for both. Or maybe it's this picture here. Actually, I'll have a quick zoom in.
Are you talking about the side of the box?
Yeah,
The,
there it
packaging?
is.
Yeah, the top.
The packaging, yeah. Xbox Series X and then a vertical line and S, indicating that it's for both. Also works on Xbox One, Windows 10, Android. It says iOS, but I mean, really, who knows about that? But
Actually, quick side note here.
Yes.
Has anybody seen the recent iPad ads on YouTube?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Xbox
I didn't
game-
realize YouTube had ads.
Xbox game, like Xbox One controller being played on an iPad.
That is kind of weird.
And I mean, like, just with all the news and all that around Apple at the moment, I mean,
You can use the controller, you just can't use any of the services.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit dodgy to me.
But they love gaming, guys.
Yeah, no, they're big supporters.
They love gaming, guys. They also love gaming guys, but they love gaming as well.
Not gamer girls though. Those get taken off Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's just a little one for you. We can move on to the next one.
So it's basically confirmed at this point. Then
Yeah, saying that, I think the most interesting thing to come out, like, it's still to be announced, is what the design of the S is going to look like.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like the X and be like just a white box, or is it going to be like a Xbox One S?
Yeah, I imagine they probably want to make them pretty distinguishable between the two. So you can, when you got your marketing message up there, you can say, hey, here, buy the mini fridge or buy the VCR player,
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll be the full size X and the half size S? Do you think that's possible?
That might be the way to go. Yeah, I think that would probably be a pretty smart way of showing it.
I wouldn't say half, but it would be
Yeah, maybe
probably
not half,
a little bit more.
Yeah, miniature.
A little mini,
compared to the X.
little mini
Yeah.
version.
Xbox Mini. Yeah,
So who's getting both now?
I'm not getting either. Are you kidding me?
We'll see if they
Let's
if
see
they
how
ever
the tax
announce a
return comes
price.
back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but the talk was that they're going to have an event later this month where they were going to announce the Series S and almost certainly the price.
Goodness, that's some timing because I'm having an event later this month with my daughter being born. So hopefully they announce the price before that. I get the pre-order in before the money.
One is going to cost a lot, and the other one is going to cost a lot.
One's going to cost a lot. You're right.
One of them is going to cost a lot of money and time, and the other one is the Series X.
Exactly. All right. Now a little bit of a topic for discussion here. Moving on to the next news item. So everyone would have seen this week the Marvel Avengers live service game had a platform exclusive character. Spider-Man is exclusive to PlayStation, and I don't think it was timed exclusive. I think it was properly exclusive.
Just completely exclusive to them, plus some content like around skins and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it got me thinking a lot because I actually answered this poll. The article I'm looking at here is for a poll. Does platform exclusive content change your mind about buying a game?
I saw your comment on the article, and I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So my thought is, first of all, this Spider-Man, if it's platform exclusive, it's either going to be very minor, or it's got to have some content exclusively for that as well, which means doing more development work for one console. I don't think that's the more likely of it. I think it's just a
Yeah.
minor kind of part.
I would assume so.
Yeah. But my thought is that even though we're on the losing side, as it were, by not getting our own exclusive character and not getting access to Spider-Man, I think this process sucks. Even if we were the ones being the beneficiaries of the character or whatever the content was, I think this just sucks. And I think Destiny, you could probably chime in here, Cameron. Destiny did a similar with that. They had exclusive weapons and content for PlayStation.
They had time exclusives up till a year, I believe. But I feel like this is a different ballpark altogether. Like, this is, as far as we're aware, never coming to Xbox.
Yeah, although,
And-
to be fair, in the past when we've had things like this, they've said, oh, this is exclusive to this, and then a year later, it does come out for the other platforms through, like a definitive edition or...
Wasn't Tomb Raider like that at one point?
Well, Tomb Raider
The
was...
new ones?
Yeah, the new one was a timed exclusive.
Okay.
But they did message that,
But
but
was
very
it-
quietly.
I was going to... Okay. Because, I couldn't remember anything about it being in times, and then I was like, oh, cool, it's hitting Sony as well.
Yeah, and I think that, we have seen things in the past where we've had DLC that was only for the Sony platform or only for the Xbox platform that did come to the other platform at some stage through some definitive edition or re-release or some pack or something along those lines where it isn't necessarily part of the game or, it's a different SKU, so they kind of get around it. But of course, like, again, even if it was a timed exclusive, most... like the developer or, Sony is not going to talk about the fact that it's a timed exclusive. They're just going to say it's an exclusive.
Exclusive, get it here for... Yeah. Because the only in terms of exclusives that I've had to deal with in the past, I've only really had to deal with Call of Duty and that kind of stuff, where it's obviously been timed, especially during the 360 era. Most of the Call of Duties that released were a month for DLC packs before hitting PlayStation, I believe.
Yep, roughly.
And-
Month or two.
To me, like a time exclusive, I can be like, all right, cool, I expect that. But if it's something where I know that, all right, cool, extra people are working on this to make this the exact same product, but with more content for a different, I guess, a different company. It's just bull at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, what's the reasoning? Is it because they're getting a kickback? Is it because they want to try, because Sony's trying to incentivize people, so they've given them some money to do it? I mean,
I think it's just Sony's relationship with
Silicon Knights, or is it Silicon? No, Crystal Dynamics, rather.
I mean, like, their access to the Spider-Man
Sure,
entity
that
as
get what
well,
you're saying,
more
yeah.
so.
That does make a lot of sense.
I mean, like, I'm honestly trying to think of something that comes to mind where it's been exclusive to one console in terms of DLC or in terms of something like this.
This thing here kind of says to me it's like a bigger, like the start of something. I've seen a lot of... I mean, I'm got my eye on Twitter too much, admittedly, lately, and I get caught up more in the console wars than I would care to admit. But I see this Sony trying to have some exclusivity by doing stuff like this because they don't have as many titles as Microsoft does for the Xbox. And so I think maybe what they're trying to do is to buy a lot more third-party exclusives so that the PlayStation doesn't look like as bad of an investment as I seem to think it is.
So do you think this is the case then of them approaching the developer and going, well, hey, we've got rights to the Spider-Man property. How about you include this in your game, but not in the competing?
Well, yeah, but they also show up with a
titles.
briefcase of money as well, because there's no way that
Yeah.
Crystal Dynamics would do it for free. Like, again, they'd have to
But-
have some financial incentive.
I was going to say there'll be the financial incentive though that I don't think it would take a lot if somebody came with a property like Spider-Man and said, "Hey, we'll give you a little bit of money in terms of developing it for that," but
Yeah.
that to me seems more like a As
think
much as I don't want to say it, it's
Yeah.
going to push more titles.
I know what you mean, but I still think that Crystal Dynamics needs Sony more than Sony needs Crystal Dynamics at this point, because Sony are on a
Yeah,
roll.
okay.
Like they're selling PlayStations over Xboxes 4-1. Like they're riding high. They've had a lot of really good exclusives. This has been a really really good generation for them. And fair play to them. They've released some quality titles. I think that them having the rights to Spider-Man probably helps, but if it wasn't this, I suspect it would have been something else.
I thought these rights that Sony have were related to the movies.
They were. I believe that they did get some more rights towards video games, but not animated TV shows. I think was the thing. There has been some changes recently with the renegotiations they had with Disney.
Because there is a lot of talk about that on Twitter as well, as to what their rights actually are. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of confusion about that. I wasn't convinced that it extended to video games. Because if it did extend to video games, they just would have said, like, well, bad luck, Crystal Dynamics. If you want to put Spider-Man in the game, it's Sony exclusive. But if they don't have the rights to the video games, then they say the same thing and they rock up with a briefcase of money, like you said.
Yeah, which is probably what happened.
I think they probably rocked up with a briefcase of money regardless, maybe as a show of good faith. But
yeah, because they want them to spend time and money making content for their platform. So any exclusive that exists that isn't first party, any exclusive content would have to be paid for by the company, because there's no way a company would do it otherwise. Like it's not like people are going to be like, it's not like Crystal Dynamics are going to be like, everyone's going to be like, oh yay, thanks for making this extra content for PlayStation. Like it can only look bad for them. For them making it exclusive to a single platform, so there has to be some sort of financial incentive for them to do it.
The other thing I think of as well, I mean, if they do have the rights, like you said, to Spider-Man, assuming that they do, there are a lot stronger characters. For mine, I like Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, I like him a lot. And in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, I thought he was an excellent character. But he's not Thor, he's not Iron Man, he's not Black Widow, he's not Hulk, he's not, another few characters that I would rather. But those, Captain America, I don't know that they can get exclusivity on those ones. I mean, if they show up with another briefcase of money, who knows what could happen. But
Yeah.
I'm not thinking that Spider-Man, I mean, let's be honest, he's stronger character than Hawkeye.
Sure, but I guess and they did confirm that Hawkeye would be the first DLC character for the game.
But saying that at the same time, what's one of their biggest selling games?
Yeah, it's exactly that was going to be my point. Is
It
that
wasn't Thor, it wasn't Black Widow,
it was Spider-Man, and Spider-Man, and the movies have been good, and people like Spider-Man is basically, I would say, probably the second most popular hero ever. I would say, roughly in terms of popularity.
What are you saying is the most popular?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, in terms of sales and rankings of how people rank the heroes, in terms of how many people buy the comics and people know about him and that sort of stuff. Like, he's up there with Batman. Like, he's ridiculously popular.
Wow.
I would struggle to name another hero, but like, and this is before Marvel Cinematic Universe even as well. Afterwards, I mean, again, this changed a little bit. I mean, like Iron Man, for example, was like a second-rate character that no one really liked that much. People thought he was kind of cool, but like he wasn't. Like before the movies,
Look at Robert Downey. Look at Robert Downey Jr.'s career before Iron Man.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's both Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. both skyrocketed to fame with.
It was such a risk for them to take, and then it's like, all right, well, this did well. Let's make another one.
Now Iron Man is like one of the favorites, but before that, like in terms of comic book heroes, he was not super highly rated. Captain America was higher up because Captain America, but again, I think that people have forgotten that Spider-Man has had, and even in terms of video games, has had a whole series of stuff before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was even a thing. They had movie license games. Before that, they had comic book games for the PlayStation. I mean, I played pretty much all of them. I played most of the 360 games as well.
The original licensed video games.
Oh, they were pretty bad. Oh, Spider-Man 2 is actually really, really good, but Spider-Man 1's a bit ropey. No pun intended. But yeah, I just don't think that. I think that them getting this exclusive rights and them doing this it's a good move for Sony because they. But I guess the question was, would this stop you from buying the game or not? Right?
In terms of, I'll go first. In terms of if it was timed exclusive, if it's timed, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because I have an expectation that, you know, it will be coming to the console in a month or a year or whenever, and I can wait on that. I'm okay. I've got that much of a backlog that I can work around that.
Yeah.
If it's something that is never coming to the console, that is basically... The thing that really grinds my gears on this is that both editions of it, I think at eBay pre-order, were $130
Ooh.
Australian.
Right.
But you're basically telling me that, all right, if I bought a PlayStation and I bought the game with Sony, then I'm getting much more content than what I'm getting on Xbox for the exact same price. That's where I put an issue with it.
Yeah, I can see that. What about you, Alex?
Well, I haven't changed my thoughts since 3 days ago, but I'm actually not going to buy this because I could not care less. This should have come out 2 years ago when Endgame and Infinity War were around. Because, anyway, that's
they missed the mark by a mile.
Do you think they started development on this like a year or two before Endgame and then just like...
Oh, no,
all right, we'll get it.
I remember when they announced... Didn't they announce this like 3 or 4 years ago now? Like, it was I remember when it was at the one of the Square Enix conferences, and it just had like the Captain America shield, and it just said Marvel Avengers coming, you know, whenever. And that was it. Like, it was just a teaser image. And then we just didn't hear about it for ages, and everyone's like, oh, I guess it's cancelled. And then it just suddenly showed up in a show like last year.
I was going to say, if Disney had been working on this, I would not be surprised if we had seen something drop in like the same month as the movies.
Well, apparently Disney is an absolute nightmare to work with in terms of video game stuff, like the Disney Infinity stuff. That developer, they're gone under now, I think. They were like, yeah, this is absolute just a mess and impossible to work with. Really crazy demands, want to change things all the time, have complete control over this, that, and the other. So I'm not surprised that this was in development hell for ages, but you're totally right. They 100% missed the mark on when this is coming out. It's way too late. And the fact...
You keep going, Matt.
I was going to say, I know that they said that when you look at the characters, for example, they do look kind of weird because they're like discount versions of the movie versions, right? Like it's like the Walmart brand of Robert Downey Jr. But like their defense of that is, well, you know, we wanted to make it a separate thing from the movies. And I'm like... I get it. You kind of want to make your own thing, but the Avengers is no longer a comic book franchise. It's a movie franchise. Like,
if they wanted to do that, they should have used the comic book adaptations of the characters. Yeah. And from what I've seen, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, they've kind of gone in between. They've kind of taken some of the movie stuff and some of the comic book stuff, and it kind of just doesn't work.
I feel like at that point, then you make an original idea.
Yeah, but like Avengers sells gangbusters, though, right? Like that's the thing. Is that like. Because again, this looks like it's going to be, you know, the Destiny killer or whatever. You know, it's going to be a big looter shooter with
until it's Anthem.
Well, that's again like Anthem and all that kind of stuff. Like clearly they're trying to cash in on that market because like Destiny 2 is doing very, very well for Bungie. Clearly,
my thoughts on it, and I'll just essentially read my comment out. Is I'm not actually going to buy this game. I don't care about this game. But I think if you're going to do these kind of things, I won't support you. It's you know, like I said, I don't care if it's our way or if it's Sony's way, but paying the same price, like you said, Cameron, the same price, and two different groups of people getting a different experience, it's scummy, and I won't support it. Having said that, 2 comments below mine I didn't see until just now, but friend of the show Tarragon has written in here. He's probably still going to buy it, but it just irritates him. In some cases, really tarnishes his view of a developer. Bungie exclusive PlayStation content for Destiny really soured him to the company, particularly as the time exclusive nature of content was so poorly communicated and managed. Remedy's exclusive skins for Control, I did not know there were exclusive skins for Control, were less annoying, but the timed exclusive nature of the DLC is also pretty irritating. Apparently he's still going to buy the game, but thinks it's bad for customer sentiment, which I can also see that point of view, but... Yeah.
I mean, it at the end of the day, it is anti-consumer, right? You're restricting content on a platform for you know a quarter to a third of your user base of people who are going to buy the game. Which, like, from anyone who is just from any consumer, you'd say, well, that doesn't seem like it's fair or the right move. But you know, business is business, unfortunately. And Sony have been. We kind of we did see, like you mentioned before, on the 360, we saw a lot of that console exclusivity for like DLC and that sort of stuff as a thing, because the game exclusive stuff kind of went the way of the dodo. Like, you didn't see a lot of stuff became multi-platform on the 360 generation. Like, I remember when Final Fantasy was coming to the 360 and the PlayStation people lost their minds. Devil May Cry when it came over. Like, it was one of those times when you finally had most games, you could get 90% of the games on whatever platform you picked. And then we moved to this generation, and that kind of stopped, where it was like, well, most of the games come to everything. There's sometimes timed exclusive stuff, but it was pretty rare. Like, it would, like, you know, like, you didn't see a lot of it. And now I think we're going to start going back to it now that Sony has said, well, actually, exclusives are the way that we make money. You know, we release exclusive games because we have our developers build them, you know, like God of War, Ratchet and Clank stuff, Naughty Dog, Last of Us, all that sort of stuff. And we're also going to hit it hard with the DLC, whereas Microsoft is going in the accessibility direction where they just release as many games as they want with all of their studios on as many platforms as possible. It'll be interesting to see who comes out the winner at the end of it.
I think if they were to turn around and just buy exclusivity for the game, even though I think that that's still not great, but if they were to do that, I would feel okay about it. Because
really?
Because if you... I think about it like this. If I paid $10 for a pizza, and, you know, same pizza, and you rocked up and gave me 6 pieces out of 8 for a large, or I bought $10 for a pizza from a different place and you gave me 8 pieces out of 8 for a large, I know which one I'm going back to.
Sure.
Actually, if you turn up and there's only 6 pieces in a pizza, I'll probably throw it at you because that's ridiculous. But that's kind of how I feel about this.
That's just how they cut them.
Yeah, but
That's
sure. But
how
like,
they cut it that way.
No,
then,
you know what I'm talking about.
if you use the same analogy, you rock up to the pizza place and they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to sell you pizza, mate. And the other place is going to sell you pizza.
Yeah,
like,
but then
like,
you don't
like,
get rock. They don't rock up with 6 out of 8 pieces for you.
I feel like a better pizza analogy for this would be like, I get my meat lovers at place A, but I love capsicum, yeah? They let me put capsicum, bell peppers on.
Because you're a
Not
monster.
you just wanted to say bell peppers and you're wrong. It's capsicum. You've been called out.
Absolute grinds Nikita's gears, but yeah, let's go on.
Boy.
But then go to the second place and they don't sell capsicum. I'm just going to get a meat lovers.
Yeah, but
I'm going to pay the same price.
Yeah, but like half the time, like for me, I'm there for the meat lovers. I don't actually care. For my personal, again, I'm not going to buy the Avengers game because I'm not buying games this year, and it looks like trash. To be honest, to me, like it looks.
That's
like
the other thing. It looks like
game.
hot garbage.
But if it was a game I liked, like realistically, if I rock up and I get my meat lovers and I wanted the meat lovers and they're like, hey, do you want capsicum on it? I'm like, yeah, sure, great. And be like, oh wait, no, you never, you don't get any of it. And I would be like, well, that kind of sucks, but you know what? Realistically, I know what I was here for. Like, and Spider-Man doesn't really change my decision.
I was going to say, we need to find the people in the Venn diagram that weren't going to buy this game. That were going to buy this game originally,
but aren't now.
Because of the Spider-Man decision.
I-
Because we all squarely fit into this of, this looked awful, we weren't going to touch it unless it ever became free.
And this really didn't help its case. But the thing is, I think that's the ongoing sentiment for the game in general. And I just don't think it's going to sell super well anyway.
I think it's going to be another Anthem.
Yeah, I think it's going to crash.
It's quite funny on Twitter. We've got PlayStation lovers like, we've got Spider-Man skins for the Marvel Avengers game, and everyone else is like, yeah, so who
It's like, yeah, mate, that means you still got to buy the game.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did a bit of Googling and I found that the PlayStation got exclusive DLC, Astral Drive suit, Rare Player mod, Rare Service weapon, Black Rock Quarry theme, an Explorer theme, and a Control avatar, and Shifting Place dynamic theme.
Those are really going to add...
that's
incredible
nothing,
value.
But it also makes me think that this game came from Remedy, right?
Yep.
And Alan Wake was platform exclusive to Microsoft, so there's some sort of relationship there. What happened that they basically turned around and gave him the finger and said, PlayStation, here's some exclusive content for you?
So apparently after Quantum Break, that relationship soured quite badly. with the whole TV stuff and all the things they were trying to do, and a lot of it got axed. And apparently, Remedy doesn't have a lot of fond memories about working with Microsoft, which is why they went multi-platform. And I guess Sony rocked up with a big suitcase full of cash.
Or a small
sucks.
suitcase
I
if they
really
were already
just-
sour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it probably didn't help. Yeah, it didn't hurt, but
A couple of bills.
yeah, exactly.
It sucks.
They bought him a
Quantum-
pizza. It was
Quantum
all
Break.
good.
Quantum Break is one of my favorite games this generation.
I really liked
Are
Quantum
you
Break
kidding
as well.
me? I mean, Quantum
No,
Break.
I
Is
loved it.
Quantum Break is a fine game, but saying it's the game of the generation is just
No,
astronomically.
he
It's
said
just-
his
it's just-
favourite.
it's-
His favourite. Admittedly, my favourite
like
game
one
of the
of the fun
360
ones.
generation is Dead Island. So I mean,
Yeah,
you
so
know,
I'm just
Like,
I'm
we're-
on the
we're
wrong
allowed to be
podcast
wrong.
here. Obviously, this is unbelievable.
yeah. Having said that,
I quite enjoyed Quantum Break.
Like,
Yeah, me too.
I enjoyed it too, but it was not a great game.
I disagree. I really
I just
liked
watched
it.
the clips.
I really liked it. I really liked the new and interesting way they were trying to go. You know, instead of having a cutscene, like it's part TV show, part game. And you know, I can see the criticism. You're not there to watch a TV show. Fine. You know,
If
that's
it was a
fair,
better
but-
TV show, I would agree with you. It was.
Oh,
not,
I
it was,
liked
it. Was bad.
I liked it. You didn't like it.
I
That's
liked
fine.
it. I liked it like games like it. I liked Late Shift. I liked Shape-Shifting Detective.
Look, mate, I love FMV games, but like FMV games have a level of camp and cheesiness to them that's self-aware. Quantum Break was so po-faced and thought it was like the epitome of, or the epitome of like just amazing television and an amazing video game. And it was an okay third-person shooter with some cool mechanics and a double A, like I would say like a B tier TV show that you would find on like ABC or something. Like
See, I love those kind of TV shows.
me
though.
too,
So-
but not when they cost millions of dollars to make and to get crammed into my video game.
You'd much rather watch it on the second screen beside you.
Definitely, 100%.
All right, moving on. I can't convince him.
I disagree. I'm just going to agree to disagree with you. But before we move on to the next article,
With who? That doesn't solve anything.
there's an ad here on the side of this window just before I close it. It says
Wait.
no.
There's an ad.
Just listen, okay? This is
What, in our podcast?
no.
Okay.
There's an ad here that says Fast and the Furious Crossroads Review: This isn't how you treat family. I don't know that I need to
That-
click on it, but
No, that's yeah.
Oh, wait, Alex, that achievement list is great. Yeah, you should definitely play it. I'll play it with
I
you.
haven't seen it, but I heard people
I'll
saying it
dive.
sucked.
I'll dive it with you.
No. Is it a co-op game?
I think it's got multiplayer.
Okay.
Somewhat.
God, it looks
Yeah, multiplayer
no,
racing
I'm not
games
getting
where you
into
play
it. It looks-
cooperatively. Yeah, I've done. Yeah, no. It's going to be you waiting on the finish line, parked sideways across it, and then driving into my way where I'm about to cross, and then I end up coming last, Mario Kart style. It's going to be just like that if I play co-op with you. I know you.
I'm just remembering that amazing gif of that person who was coming in first in Mario Kart and they got hit by every single shell and then fell off the map and came last.
It's like
the best.
Talking about Sony, like, have you guys watched any of the gameplay for Fall Guys?
Yeah, I've
The
seen a little
guy
bit of
getting
it on
hit
Twitter.
by
Yeah,
6 or 7 balls at the very finish line.
I
just
saw.
like, yeah.
I saw a clip today of a cheater who had somehow used a manipulator of the game to make their running speed like 3 times as fast as everyone else.
Oh,
And they were
boy.
in the final part, and they ran up the hill faster than anyone else could run. And they had to stop at the top of the hill, turn off their trainer or whatever it was because they couldn't jump and grab the crown.
Right.
And while they did that, they jumped, missed the crown, and someone else came up legitimately and grabbed the crown. It's like, oh, you hate to see it, mate. You hate to see it. Anyway,
Moving on to our next story.
yes. Rocksteady looks set to announce a new Suicide game later in August.
Suicide Squad. Suicide Game sounds like something a bit more.
Oh boy, sorry. I missed a word
jeez.
there. Okay, yes, a Suicide Squad
Different
game.
context.
Persona
Oh,
3
boy.
all over again.
I don't
don't get that
understand that
reference.
reference, but
Basic, yeah. You, don't worry about it. The people out there know what I'm talking about.
I was going to say Kirby's going to listen.
Kirby's going to
No,
be
wait,
like, yeah.
Kirby's never going to listen to
No,
this. What are we
absolutely not.
talking
Yeah,
about?
he's not editing it.
no. Whoops. Yes,
Oh,
it's
jeez.
a Suicide Squad game, not a Suicide game. That's not a. Okay, let's just move on.
So I thought the game that Rocksteady was working on was meant to be Superman or
No, they apparently
Batman.
That was rumored.
yeah. So that was
Okay.
rumored because they haven't done a game in what, like 5 years almost. It's been a long time.
It's Arkham Knight. Yeah,
Yeah, Arkham Knight.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, so the talk was that they were going to do a Superman game, but then that got quashed, like, straight away. Like, they came out and said, like, absolutely not. We can't do... Like, how do you do a Superman game anyway?
Yeah, 2015. You're right.
I
That's
mean,
when Arkham
Superman
Knight came out.
64 was a commercial success. What are you talking about?
I'm just
It
remembering
was a
playing
commercial something. Yeah,
playing Superman
success.
Returns on the 360 and rescuing cats and trees.
That's
It's
what he's
amazing
there
game.
for, mate. You're Superman.
Yeah, I mean, that game was kind of interesting because it was like Superman didn't have... Oh, excuse me. Superman didn't have a health bar, but the city of Metropolis did because Superman's invincible. So it was like, you have to make sure Metropolis doesn't get too messed up, I guess. Anyway, it was a bad game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I was going to say this, going back to our launching the movie adaptation, launching the game adaptation of the movie alongside, isn't James Gunn working on the new Suicide Squad movie?
The reboot, yeah, he is.
The reboot?
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if there's going to be a movie license game or if it just happens to be this. Again, this is like an Avengers thing. Where is it going to be related to the movie or is it just happen to be at the same time? Because I'm assuming Rocksteady's been working on this for a while. If it's been 5 years,
I was going to say, it'd be lovely to see this being announced and then none of the characters look like it's Discount Joker,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And then we just see...
But Harlequin still looks like Margot Robbie for some reason, but everyone else is totally
Okay.
different.
Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's like, great, I'll buy that.
cool.
Well, the teaser picture that they've released has just got. I'm pretty sure that's Superman. That
It
looks
is,
like
yeah.
Superman with a cross on his head that says Suicide Squad. So I guess the Suicide Squad are going after Superman.
I mean, that'd be an interesting game. Like,
Yes,
I
that
think the
would be
idea's
an
pretty
interesting
cool.
game. And just judging from what I've played from what was it called, Batman Telltale Season 2, Amanda Waller, who was in the Suicide Squad movie,
Yep.
is in that game as well. So I would imagine that she might make an appearance in this game
Oh,
as
definitely.
well.
Yeah,
Like,
because she
it's-
basically runs it.
It seems like, without reading too much into it, it seems like they have the ingredients for a very interesting game here.
Can you imagine if it just comes out and it's basically a reskinned version of the Avengers? Like, they just happen to be developing like the exact same type of game.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute, you were making this game too?
That's what I'm worried about because I'd love to just see... I shouldn't say this, but I'd love to see Avengers become a commercial failure.
Oh, wow.
And then-
People put
Yeah.
their
I
blood,
know,
sweat, and tears
I
into that
know.
game, mate. That's unbelievable. How could you say that?
I know, but it's just...
Are you just talking about the game, or are you talking about the Avengers in general?
No, I love the MCU. I'm just saying
Okay.
that the Avengers game itself looks
Alright.
awful. But it'd be like just to see the reaction of, all right, well, this is not selling as well as we hoped.
I would.
We're making the exact same game, but Suicide Squad. Writing on the wall.
I would like to see that for a different reason. Because if you ever go on Twitter, and I know I'm talking about Twitter again, but if you ever go on Twitter and all the Sony ponies up there like, oh, look at Last of Us with its Metacritic score of 94, and look at Horizon Zero Dawn with its Metacritic score of
Does it?
92. I'm making up the numbers, but it's not that far.
Okay,
pretty
because
high,
I thought
And-
I thought the Last of Us got really bad reviews because.
The Last of
No,
Us 2
you got bad user reviews.
got review bombed, but
Oh, okay.
anyway, Metacritic is
Because
about
somebody
critics.
died.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would just like to see it bomb, so that when it does, you can be like, here's Metacritic 48. Oh, but Sony fans, you got Spider-Man. But you got Spider-Man in this game. It's okay. Don't worry.
But okay. But about the game we're actually talking about, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So what kind of game do you think this is going to be? Is this going to be like? Is it going to be Arkham? Is it going to be the Arkham games reskinned with multiple characters? Is it going to be like a totally different kind of game? What do you think?
I think it's going to be Arkham cross Grand Theft Auto Online. Not online, but like not Grand Theft Auto Online. Like Grand Theft Auto, we could play as multiple characters to do the same parts of the story.
Okay.
But it would be good if you could also play it cooperatively. You know, like you have all the different... I don't know, even remember who all the members are of the Suicide Squad. I remember Harley's in there as well.
Harlequin.
Deadshot, oh yeah, of course. Captain Boomerang? Is that his
Yeah,
name?
Captain Boomerang. Yeah, I love Captain
I'm not
Boomerang.
DC. I've got no idea of this stuff. I know there's Joker, there's Harley, and that's pretty much it.
The
Joker-
Flame guy?
Yeah, again, there's as you would probably
The
guess, the
Human
members
Torch?
do cycle out as they die. But yeah, Captain Boomerang is always obviously the best one.
Ooh, yeah, he's
So-
he's in there. He's there. Yeah.
He's there. He just keeps coming back, you know. You just
Oh, well, 3 domains were registered. If you read later in the article, Suicide Squad game, Gotham Knights game, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game.
look. That sounds like a great idea. Where it would Suicide Squad versus the Justice League sounds like a cool idea for a game for sure.
Yeah. I agree.
Be interesting.
Alright. We'll finish with that one. I think so.
Yeah.
So the last article is probably one of the most important things I saw. Having said that, doesn't affect me. So, Microsoft ends testing for xCloud on iOS. It says Apple treats gaming apps differently.
Differently is one way to put
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
Differently, second-class citizen, whatever you want to go with.
Kick them when they're down, spit on their face.
Yes. So basically, Microsoft have stopped testing for iOS because no matter what they do, they just can't get Xbox Game Pass to successfully go onto iOS because of Apple's restrictive store policies. So, bad news if you have an iPhone. It's coming. It's confirmed. It's coming out on Android. I think it's releasing in next month for us in Australia. Yeah, and Android and
Another thing for Kirby, because he won't be listening. Hey hey Siri, shut up.
yeah. So that's a big hit, and I think if anyone could, well, I would like to say if anyone could get the policies to change, it's something as big as Microsoft. But I think Apple kind of have their own ways, and
Yeah.
They rule
just
the
gonna
iOS
do
with
what
an
they
iron
want.
fist.
yeah,
Yeah, like this isn't the first time we've seen issues like this. I know that what was it? Stadia was having issues with iOS where they won't allow them to stream games, and Steam as well. They disabled the store page for it. So like the Steam app, you can like view your games, but you can't buy anything using iOS.
Okay.
So
Wow.
apparently this is because Apple don't allow you to make purchases on the platform without getting the 30% cut that they get from everything else. So if you were to, set up, so you basically can't stream games or buy games or anything like that, to buy games to stream them, for example, because first, Apple sees them as a competitor, and secondly, they don't get their 30% cut because the money's going to Microsoft or whatever it is. And they essentially won't allow you to do it.
it's so interesting. Like if you think about it, like what you're saying about the Steam page there, I can see why they wouldn't get 30% because Steam also has to get their cut, and it would just be prohibitively expensive. But at the moment, Apple gets $0 from Steam sales, and if they even got, say, 5% or something, a reasonable amount, that's a hell of a lot more money than $0 that they're getting for it.
Yeah, but I think the problem is that Steam wouldn't want to give up their 30% cut, which means that iOS would have to be 5% more expensive if Apple wanted that 5%. Because the thing is, like, on the other side of it, like Microsoft and Steam and Google, they aren't going to share their cut with Apple. There's no way they'll do it. They'll be like, nah, absolutely not. Just don't get your cut. It's like you have people using your devices. You have an install base. You're already making enough money on it. There's no reason for us to give you any of the cut that we take for doing our service for something that you don't even provide any support for.
So it just seems, I see what you're saying, but it just seems weird, like, for being a middleman and allowing an app on your phone, you can get money.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
I would suggest it's also not an insignificant amount of money either.
No, and I think the thing is, again, they're definitely not looking big picture. And that's kind of Apple through and through, right? Is that they really they're not really ones to move with the times. You know, they'll do whatever they think is right, and damn everything else. And that's clear from what they're doing here, which is unfortunate.
I'll go and buy Avengers for you, but you got to pay me, and you got to give me a $5 card as well.
Yeah, exactly.
What phones do you guys have?
I have a Samsung A70, which is essentially an upgraded version of the Samsung Galaxy 9. So
Yep.
when the 10 came out, they usually release an upgraded version of the previous year with like an extended battery, but like doesn't have all the like 3D touch features and all the extra stuff that I don't really care about.
What do you have, Cameron?
Google Pixel 3 XL.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just got a
Much cheaper on a plan too, compared to most of the others.
I've just got a Samsung Galaxy S8, and I'm into my third year with it. It's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I used to be like upgrade as soon as the new phone comes out, but now I'm just like, whatever, I can pay my $49 a month, and the phone does everything I need it to. You know.
I had a Note 8, a Samsung Note 8, and they were good. They weren't the ones that exploded.
That was a Note
They were
7,
the ones
wasn't it?
after. Yeah.
Hand grenades.
But
yeah.
they were a really good phone, actually.
They weren't allowed on airplanes for that period. Oh,
Yeah, I remember
dear.
they like added them to the security announcement. It's like they singled them out. They were like, "This phone in particular, do not have this phone. You are not allowed it."
And the mod on Grand Theft Auto where the grenades were Samsung Note
Yes.
7s.
Yeah, so funny.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll read a little bit of a quote here before we move on. But Apple stands alone as the only general-purpose platform to deny consumers from cloud gaming and game subscription services like Xbox Game Pass. It consistently treats gaming apps differently, applying more lenient rules to non-gaming apps, even when they include interactive content. All games available in the Xbox Game Pass are catalogued and rated for content by independent industry rating bodies such as ESRB and regional equivalents. So they would like to still obviously get Game Pass on iOS, but it seems like they're at an impasse at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that they're also been running into similar issues with Nintendo, although they haven't really publicized it, because there was originally talk that they were going to try and get Game Pass as an app on the Switch.
Yes, I remember that, and I was very excited about that.
Yeah, so I know Phil Spencer talked about it a couple of years back at E3. Might have been last year, actually. I don't remember exactly, but I think they've been pulling back a bit from that because they're running into similar issues with, you know, how does money change hands? How do you ensure this, that, and the other, and make sure that it's still competitive and all that sort of thing. I mean, again, this is not it'll never happen, but I think this is clearly the focus needs to be in other places getting this up and running.
I guess. Sorry, man. I
would say, especially considering it comes out, they've said that they're going to be bringing out like mid-September. I think they said for everywhere, like officially launching xCloud.
Sorry, for everywhere but Australia. And I'm guessing New Zealand.
What?
Yeah. Oh no, actually, is it actually but Australia? I think because I think it's coming out a preview in September, so I would assume it would be launching everywhere.
No, I'm pretty sure there was a press start article about it.
Well, while you look at that, we can talk about it. I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Oh, right, Nintendo. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, if saying what you've said about Nintendo there, about them being like, yeah, we're probably not going to allow this. If it was Nintendo, I probably wouldn't be surprised because they're usually quite closed-minded and closed with their system. So if they were to not allow it and go, you know what, it's just not Nintendo, which I think is a crap excuse, you could at least see Nintendo saying something like that. Because they're usually, you know, a step behind PlayStation and Microsoft when it comes to that forefront of gaming, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, and I would say they are more a competitor to Xbox in the same way that PlayStation is, right? Rather than Apple, which is a competitor of sorts, but not on the same sort of level. It's not the same type of competitor. Like they're not, you know, like Apple doesn't release games or publish games or have that. You know, they don't have a console, that kind of stuff. I mean, they do have streaming stuff, and they do have like Apple Arcade, I guess, which is similar. But again, it's like I don't think it's the same ballpark, but it's a similar sport, we'll say.
Alright, found the article.
Yes.
Microsoft has announced that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Streaming, aka Project xCloud, is officially coming on September 15th. This will allow you to play 100 games on your Android phone or tablet. iOS isn't coming at launch from the cloud at no additional cost in the below countries: Austria, Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Spain, South Korea, Sweden, Switzerland, the United States, and the United Kingdom.
Okay, so I'm moving back to Sweden then, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to get my dual passport to the Netherlands from my dad. Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, so that's unfortunate.
You're being optimistic with COVID.
Well, hey, I mean, look.
I didn't say I'd do it in September.
Matt's just like, do I really want to stay in a country that's COVID-free just to not have xCloud?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that it's useless for them because most of them can't leave their houses anyway, so they don't need it. Whereas I do need it because I don't leave my house, but that's beside the point. They don't know that.
So you're saying they should launch in just Australia and New Zealand?
Yes, that's the only places they should have it, is where people can leave their houses and go and do things.
Yeah.
Well, so not Victoria.
Yeah, okay, sure. So, yeah, they just... Again, we
not
put the
going to
dome
Victoria.
down and we just exclude it from the...
Does the dome have Wi-Fi?
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Is that, yeah, no, there's no Wi-Fi. You guys are done.
All right, let's move on from news. It's been a long news day. It didn't look like a long news day, but it ended up being a long news day.
Oh, I can make it a long news day, buddy.
You just make it a long day in general, Cameron.
Oh, love you too. Like I said, feel so appreciated.
You just pop up at the right time. You know, it's yeah. All right. Well, why don't you cheer the audience up and tell everyone what you've been playing?
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
I've been playing golf, but without your friends.
That's
the
just
loneliest
usual
form of
golf,
golf.
mate. That's just...
It's a good walk ruined, I hear.
You take it to a nine putt golf course, and then what do they do, Matt? Not offer you a job?
Oh, don't even get me started. I'm not... No. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. He was a nice guy.
Okay. So yeah, I did some golf with your friends. I did, I think, 5 out of 12 courses for the achievements. I want to say with pass scores. Saying that I'm getting to like the second last hole for some of them, and I'm just struggling. Some of them are really nasty, but I'll probably smash this out this weekend. On Sunday. Played a way out with a good friend of the podcast, Tarian.
Oh, yeah?
It was good. We broke out of jail.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
That's the
whoops.
start of the game, isn't it?
I mean, a way out. I didn't realize you were leaving.
First chapter of the game. Whoops, spoiled for all of you. No,
Wait,
but
did you get spoiled when you watched Prison Break as well?
Oh, what? I mean, I
haven't
thought
played
I
that
thought
game
was just
yet.
a game. I played the Prison Break game. It was all right.
I need to play that. I do own it. No, I was quite enjoying it. Except I disapprove of some of Darrigan's decisions.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Towards the end of the game, I assume.
No. We haven't played for the whole game, so we
okay.
got to the farmhouse.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And he wanted to just let the horses go and not confront the older couple. Which why would you not subdue him?
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Like,
okay.
guns
yeah.
blazing. But yeah, no, I'm quite enjoying it. Probably finished it off this weekend as well. Played a bit of our fun Friday the 13th, which, when I say fun, probably was like 5 matches, then devolved into a human full flat session.
Yeah, that's how
Just
fun
need
that
to play
game
like
was.
1,000 as the counsellor for that.
Yep.
Yep.
And
It was like-
Valak and Mike and everyone was trying to get me to come in and be like, hey, come on, play this game, it's fun. And now every week I just get to hear them complaining about how bad the game is and how they wish they never had started it.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing every week.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, it's a fun
But yeah.
game, but they were taking the mickey when they wrote those achievements.
Yeah, no, like, it could be a much better game if the achievement was much smaller. Make this a 20-hour, not a 200-hour. I did human full flat factory level.
That was great.
Yeah, that was a great time. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. Yeah,
I just
it's yeah.
the only thing I The only thing I need to say with that is I'm a very touchy-feely person.
Oh boy, there was some very inappropriate touching going on. We were trying the alley-oop technique, and it was not going well. I might get it up with her head between my legs, and I got stuck on a block. It was very awkward. And then I tried jumping and managed to like basically contort myself into a box.
I'm basically swinging off Nev's ass cheeks.
Yep, it was a mess. But we got through it. Yeah. We got all the achievements, and it was and we got it done in less than an hour, which was amazing because it was.
I think what did it take us? Like 20 minutes?
It was like 40 minutes or so. It wasn't too bad.
Okay. It went quick. It was a good crew.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there were way too many of us trying to do all the stuff at the same time. I think it was very much a problem of too many cooks. Yeah, except you replace one of the O's with a C.
Matt's just getting to the end. Matt just gets to the end, and here is just like me just falling to the side of the earth. Bye!
Yeah, it was. But no, it was a great time, and like those levels are always absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I always have a great time.
Honestly, I love Human Fall Flat.
It's a fantastic game. Like it's
can't wait. I was going to say can't wait till Mike carries me through it.
Yeah, I think there's at least one more DLC that they're bringing out. So, it is one of the best co-op games ever made. I would say it's just so hilarious.
Yes, it's really good. What else did I play? I played a little bit of Smite.
Ugh.
Now you say
I do,
but
because MOBAs are awful.
Yeah, I was just like I haven't played this in 5 years. I'll go back to it. I'll see what I can do. Join some more experienced people than myself, and they got me 6 or 7 achievements.
Oh yeah.
I was naturally I was playing as Persephone because I mean daughter. Why not?
Is that a character in the game?
Yeah, so all the characters are like based on different gods, and Persephone's named after a goddess. So, yep. So yeah, it was quite cool. Persephone's abilities is based around like using pomegranate seeds, which is tied in with her lore very much. And I was playing with Ares a bit, and I was playing as Artemis. I think it was Artemis. Playing as a few of the great gods. I was quite enjoying it.
Yeah, Ares is the god of war, right?
Yep.
Ares is the god of war, yep.
I mean, until Kratos took care of that.
I actually only remember that because he was the god of war in Hercules, the TV show, as a kid.
I love that show.
And the guy that played Ares, it popped up every now and then. Great actor. I actually don't remember who it is, but I remember I really liked him. Sorry, just a little tangent, little mini tangent for you there, Cameron.
But I used to want to be an archaeologist, so I like everything mythology. Like, granted, that's why my kid's named after a god, so...
That's fair.
But, yeah, no, I quite enjoyed a little bit of Smite. The crew that I played with, sorry, I don't remember any of their names, but they were pretty chill. After that, I played a little bit of Far Cry 5 with my good friend Aftos. And we did the zombie stuff.
Oh, yeah. What do you think?
Up until the lab... Yeah. You know what though? We got to the lab, we did it like 3 or 4 times the first night, and we were like, nah. And then I'm like, let's open the door. Let's hide behind the door. And it works.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of doing it.
Absolutely works. So we hit around the door, got the 3 stars, and we just got out. And then we, because I did all the score attack stuff with him first before doing the main stuff, we started going back through, did one of the pitches after, then the 7 achievements. The achievement for all 7 unlocked, which is nice. Where the tracker was showing me at like I think 16% or whatever, like 1/7 is. So I was like, all right, cool. I don't have to go back through every single one, other than doing just the miscellaneous achievements. Saying that the only thing I've got to do for that DLC now is just the 5,000 kills.
So just sit there in a tractor and you'll be fine.
The AFK farm, yep.
Nice and easy.
Other than that, if you want to do it legit, you can do it on the bridges level.
But don't.
Solo.
Don't do it on that. Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Yeah. It's like 8 hours AFK compared to 3 hours.
Yeah. Just leave it on overnight and you'll be fine.
What else did I play? Rogue Cube. It's funnily enough, Rudder Like a Game came out last week. It immediately just reminded me of Risk of Rain.
In that it was terrible? What? Like what?
And no, Risk of Rain's great. Like,
yeah, so
I
can't understand. Like how is a Rudder Like a Game anything like Risk of Rain? Risk of Rain's
Just
fantastic.
being a roguelite. I don't know why. It just felt very Risk of Rain to me, and like as a top down.
Now, okay. Well,
But no, quite enjoyable, except for the fact that I kept on dying on the first boss countless times, and then having to restart because there's a roguelite.
yeah, not a fan of that kind of gameplay, to be
But
honest.
Yeah,
But,
me neither.
um,
no thanks.
quite enjoyable for a roguelike. And then I get to my main one,
Donut King.
my main free. So I did the Tourist, smashed that on Saturday.
So, yeah, this was the one that Tarragon was talking about, right?
So yep, it took me 4 hours.
That's not bad. It's in Game Pass as well.
Without a with a little bit of a guide, but like only if I got stuck.
Right.
So I was basically just using a video guide, like if I ever got stuck, and then just went to that. Some of the platforming in this is the biggest issue. There's like there's these secret like sculptures you got to go into, and you got to take photos of. When you go in there, there's like certain platforming puzzles, and there's like these like stone. What would you like a stone tentacle, I guess?
Okay.
And there's different like platforming challenges to each one. So there's one you have to defeat them by just getting them to hit bricks. There's one you have to there's like these platforms you hover on, and then you put them on the glowing lights, and then that damages the boss. What else is there? There's like some water puzzles. There's some air puzzles. Pretty much it's mostly pretty good, like very puzzle like in terms of platforming, except for I want to say the fourth monument, because that is jump, 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 jump on these tiny little orbs floating midair that you do not have it's a dark room. You don't have a proper angle or shadow to go off.
So you just have to kind of eye it and guess where the jump will land you.
Good 20 minutes just on that one.
Classic. Yep.
Every other bit of this game is like smash through, except for some of the arcade levels. They are a little bit trickier. But everything else is like easy peasy. And then you just have this one jumping platform. I mean, like some of the puzzles might take a little bit longer if you're just trying to guess it and not work it out. But saying that, yeah, it's the only fault I have of the game. Some of the islands in it, Hawaii or Fiji.
Fiji. Yep.
Yeah, good old Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really tackle that tourist urge. Really good game though.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorites this month. Definitely recommended playing it while in Game Pass. And relatively easy completion except for that one jumping puzzle. Saying that, you'll smash out most of the achievements except for the 200 Gamerscore one, which is Do It, which is basically just going back and taking photos of all the monuments, all the people. Sorry. There's an art gallery in the game on certain island that you have to fill with certain pictures of people. My favorite hobby of mine was getting photos from the back of people's heads to put up in this art gallery.
Yeah, that's definitely that person.
Just to add my own little twist on it. But I like some of them. It didn't work for most of them. It did, so it was quite cool. Then you have to find these secret scrolls, which are quite easy, except for like when you have to unlock canoeing. Do the arcade, which one's a little like mini racer. One is the brick game.
Breakout.
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 Yeah.
Arkanoid.
And then there's another one that I'm trying to think what it's called. You basically collect all the... It's like Pac-Man,
Oh, okay.
but not like Pac-Man.
Puckman. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There'll be some other proper name for this game that I've like, oh, that was a game that was well before my existence.
Load Runner or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, quite enjoyable. After that, I picked up on the sale Donut County.
Great game.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
had
on
no
my list
idea
as
what was
well.
going on.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to know what's going on. People order donuts and he just solves all their problems for them.
Because I'm just like, wait, so he said he's ordered a donut. Like, did they mean the hole in the ground?
Yep.
Did they mean the actual donut?
Yep.
Like, I'm so confused.
They ordered an actual donut, and the hole in the ground is what they got
Yeah.
from the donut
So
shop.
false advertising.
I mean,
No, I don't know. You haven't seen the website. You don't know if the advertising is misleading.
Yeah.
It could be that they are advertising exactly what they're giving.
People
and
just not
are
reading
like,
closely,
Oh,
yeah.
they're a donut shop. Order.
Saying that, like, I don't know if this is spoilers or not, but like the elevator at the very end,
yes.
just it's like wait,
Catapult.
so yeah, so you're threatening me with explosives? Don't
Ding. Yeah, it's pretty good.
and then
It was
great.
really good. It
Yeah.
was a really good game, and I just thought the whole time, because Kirby said last week, just buy it, play it, and then go back and clean up the achievements. And I just
definitely
thought
worth it.
Kirby's right. It's a really fun game. It took me, I don't know, 2-3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The achievements are fun, without overstaying their welcome.
Yeah, the puzzles aren't too difficult. Like it's funny and it's charming and there's a quack button. Like it's great.
The quack button, and then you quack people and they quack you back.
just spamming it at the start. I'm just like quack 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 quack.
Yeah, you're like, what's this?
In
Quack,
the
quack,
middle
quack,
of the
quack.
conversation, just quack, 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 quack. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered a donut. Where is it? Quack, 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 quack. That's where it is, mate. Yeah, I thought the my favourite thing about that game was the humour and the conversations between the characters. It's great.
It's very typical me humor too. I want to say.
Oh, I don't know. It was pretty funny actually.
No, but like in terms of just me posting something random. Or
Oh
saying
yeah,
something
like it's
absolutely-
very kind of off the wall or like yeah.
I'm like this. This is my kind of personality in a game.
Yeah, it is like one of the few good examples of comedy in games. Like it gets its timing down really, really well.
Yeah.
But in terms of like replaying it, I think the only one I really had to go back. Actually, there was 2 achievements. There was the cat stew because I didn't know what I was doing the first time around with that.
Yep.
That is
And then
hard
these-
with those damn cockroaches.
Yeah.
Just always chasing you, and if they even touch your soup, it's done.
See, I didn't realize that the soup had to be orange. That's where I mucked up there. And the second one was doing the boss fight and not destroying the statue.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yeah, okay.
Because I just went play through it. I know that I could just replay by level and just do it that way. But great game. Like, absolutely great game. Cracked me up. And my last thing that I started last night was Omen Sight.
Which is it's like a sort of sequel to Stories, Path of Destinies, right? Like it's set in the same universe?
I don't know because I've never heard of that game before.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was the game that they previously worked on, which is the one which is it's like a sort of dungeon crawler light, like hack and slash game where you essentially play through. You're stuck in like a time loop, so you just play through the same 5 like levels, and you make different decisions each time, and you get to different endings.
Okay.
It's very repetitive.
So this game.
Basically, yeah. So like I know Omen Sight is similar in that regard.
Okay. So I just like from just playing free level, I guess levels is the least way of putting it, but this is basically a hack and slash murder mystery.
Right.
And I was just going to Nikita yesterday, just like what are 2 genres you never hear mashed together, and I'm just like hack and slash murder mystery. So what's happened in this is
It's the woman's murder club, except they're all armed.
yeah, that's exactly it. What's happened in this is there's a priestess that basically prevents, I guess, the end of the world. Prevents this giant serpent from like destroying the world, which I believe his name's Vulcan.
Oh, okay.
So
Vulcan was the best gladiator on the Australian version of the Gladiators.
Okay.
Just
Here we
in
go.
case you were wondering.
Here we go. Anyway, so Vulcan just comes and destroys the world, and then there's this witch that teleports you to this like limbo place, and basically that place adds as a like an upgrade for your abilities, as well as you can choose whether you want to, not have a device or where to go next, or just to, just get a guided narrative. Then you basically just picked what character you're going to follow for that certain doomsday, and then find out bits by bits of clues and piece it together.
Until you
By
learn the
experiencing-
truth.
Yeah. So from the first 3 levels I played the very first one I joined Draga because I know there's a missable achievement. It's the only missable achievement in the game. So I joined Draga, and she's like a grand warrior or something like that, like army general.
Mm-hmm.
So we charge in, get to the very end, and then this, I don't want to say prisoner, like there's opposing clans in this game,
Mm-hmm.
but this opposing clan's leader has performed this spiritual song that has opened a void in the universe to take the darkness in within herself. So basically she just wants to kill everything. So you destroy her, then you go back and you replay the same story with helping her.
Right, okay.
And then I've managed to do the 3rd chapter, which is, I guess, the first major spoiler.
Okay.
And that's finding out who was directly involved with threatening the priestess. But in terms of it so far, it's very hack and slash in the same way Ruby is.
Okay, yeah.
Which, to me, the combat's, it's not like AAA standard, but it's definitely passable. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And how this story is intertwined is just like, all right, cool. So I played with this character. I found out a little bit of this character's backstory. I want to learn more about this, and then just following that trail on.
Oh yeah, it sounds really. I'm definitely, because I've got it in my backlog. I'll definitely jump on it. I would say if you get a chance, check out Stories as well, because it's told from a similar sort of perspective. I think that obviously Omen Sight seems to be a bit broader in terms of what you can do, whereas Stories was kind of their first attempt at this kind of thing. But apparently they're set in the same universe, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. I like, are the people all like animal people?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think it is same universe then, yeah.
And at the same time, like with the not cutscenes, with the loading screens, it tells you, it has a map, and it tells you where everybody was specifically on that morning to morning, midday, afternoon, and then night.
Oh, okay.
So you can kind of try and follow their trail as well. But really, really good game, and I'm really hoping the ending pays off because I honestly wanted to skip the podcast tonight to play it. It's quite enjoyable.
Wow, I see how it is.
I love
that missable achievement, how difficult was it?
It's basically just if you don't get it the first time, you could easily go back and just play 2 levels.
Oh, okay, cool. So not a major thing.
You just got to do it in a certain order, pretty much. But I don't know. I don't know if it's tagged missable because of that order, or if it's just something that you can actively avoid.
Right.
Really.
Okay.
But yeah, that pretty much finishes up me for the week at 4,730.
Not bad.
Yep.
Good size?
Good.
Nah, not a good size,
Best,
but not bad.
Best size.
Okay. Matt, what have you been hanging around with?
Not a lot this week. I'm on cleanup duty. I did the Human Fall Flat DLC like we talked about. Had a great time with that. I was laughing a lot, and Alison was looking at me like I was a crazy person because of half the things that we were saying. It was out of context it was very weird. I mean, even in context it was still quite weird, but out of context it was very, very weird. I gotta say with that too, me and Nev climbing up for that that golden brick or something in the we
corner.
Totally didn't need. So funny.
Just spending like good 10-15 minutes on it, just like just hanging off Nev's ass. No, just swing me up, buddy, swing me up. And then it's like achievement pops in the background. Like,
yeah, because we decided that we were actually going to
materials?
do it properly and just went around and did everything else and finished it.
God.
I also have been playing Anna, the Extended Edition, which is a 360 game because I'm back on the 360 kick. I'm going to start cleaning up some games. Yeah, that's an awful game. I just finished it, but I'd started it back in March, like 2017, and got all the achievements except for see all the events and the 100% achievement. But the 100% achievement involves seeing all the events. There are 16 events in the game, and they're like supernatural things where when you wander around something spooky happens. The problem is that they're basically random about when they trigger, and no one has a really good guide on how to make them happen. So there's guides on what rooms they happen in, and you kind of just have to wander around and like wait in those rooms until those things happen. So the first time I played this back in 2017, like I got like halfway through, and one of them just would not, like a couple of them would not trigger at all. So I was eventually just got tired of it and shelved it. Decided I was like, well, I need to clean this game up. It's actually a really easy game in terms of the game itself. Like there's a guide, you can just follow it and you get all the achievements. And if you're lucky, you get the game done in like an hour and a half. But realistically, it took me like 8 to 10 to finish it. There was one last night that I could not get to trigger. So when I came back from a job interview that I just had, that I was like, well, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to watch it. And I moved my guy slightly forward to look at this door, and then suddenly it triggered after like 8 hours of waiting. So I was like, I had nothing. Like I had been standing in that exact position like 2 hours before that. Nothing happened. So it's like no rhyme or reason whatsoever on how this game works. So it's absolutely awful, but it's done with. We delete it. Done. Perfect. Just got the last achievement like an hour ago. So great.
I've never even heard of this game.
Yeah, it was on sale years and years and years ago. And it was like a UK. I think it was like a UK only. Like I had to change my region on the 360 or something to get it. Like it wasn't. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
on the 360.
Yeah, like it was one of those ones. Yeah, again, it's one of those like terrible, first person adventure games where you're like in a couple of locations and it's just like use items on other items to try and figure out what to do, with some like spooky supernatural stuff in there. But it just all looks terrible. And it has some terrible, terrible music. Yeah, there's just nothing good about it. I also started up Hitman 2. Well, I started it. I fired it up, and I was like, oh, cool. I'll play some of like the old levels, because all the DLC for the first game carries over. So I did. I went through the Hokkaido level, and I started up the Showstopper, which is the first one, and I did like the Colorado level. And I was like, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I want to play some of the actual game itself. So I went through and I was like, oh, hey, actually, for some reason, I don't own any of this stuff. So apparently I don't own the game in terms of the actual like main content, but I do own the DLC. So I was like, well, I'm going to skip the entire story and ruin it all for myself by doing one of the DLC levels. So I did
Absolute worst.
I did the New York level, which is like a bank heist, and had a really great time with it. Still, fantastic game. Like they've obviously I was a bit worried that moving into the second game it would be like too much of a repeat, but they got a lot of fresh ideas, and I still laugh along at all the challenge pun names and stuff. You know, like I think it was one about taking your time, and I pushed a woman through like a clock face off a third floor balcony. There was one where there's a banker who's getting fired, and like you go and you go to like for a final meeting with the big boss around like why are you getting fired? And like, oh, you know, we went through your portfolio and like, you know, like your performance and that sort of stuff, etc., etc., etc. And then it just turns out that the reason he's getting fired is because he wears a sweater that no one likes. And it's like, and so what I'd done is I'd knocked him out and stolen his sweater, and then she went over to like one of her like awards that happened to be like it was like a stock arrow going upwards, which came into like a perfect spike, and so I just happened to go up behind her and just went and just pushed her straight onto it. Anyway,
is there an achievement for using the magic briefcase?
I don't think so.
Magic briefcase?
I mean, all those briefcases are magic. You can put whatever you want on them.
There was a glitch in, I don't know if it was the Hitman 2 or Hitman 1 game, but if you could throw your briefcase at someone.
I mean, you can do that in this game.
And there was a glitch where if you threw it at someone and they were running away, the briefcase would be spinning through the air and chasing them. And if it hit them, it was a one-shot kill.
Yeah.
So they patched it out because obviously it was a bug in the game, but everyone was like, "Nah, put it back in. It's such a good thing." And they patched it back in I think one of the DLC missions maybe or something. It's I would say the throwing things at people's heads is like a proud tradition in the Hitman series at this point. Like one of the strategies, because the DLC has an achievement for finishing on the hardest difficulty. And so one of the strategies was, okay, bring a sniper, but obviously you need to bring it in a case. So when you walk into this room, you need to fling your suitcase with the sniper rifle and hit one guy in the head and then get behind the other one and choke him out. And it's like, yeah, so I was just, and one of the challenges was like, I think it was called for Show Me the Money. And it's for going into the vault, taking out a gold bar and just throwing it at someone's face. Oh man,
It's great.
that would hurt.
It's-
That would hurt
yeah,
too.
and it has to be one of the large ones. I tried it the small one, it didn't work. But yeah, like it's still absolutely hilarious. Like I
That's
still
such
laugh.
a good name for an achievement for doing that too.
Oh yeah, there's some like all the challenges have great names. They're just they're clearly very self-aware and they do not take themselves seriously at all. But I have such a great time with it. I'm definitely going to pick up next time the base game goes on sale. I'm definitely going to pick it up because I want to play some more of this. They did.
It sounds real different to like Blood Money, which had a real serious tone to it.
Yeah, they definitely like the Hitman 1 and 2. Like I would recommend getting like the complete edition of 2 because it comes with all the DLC, comes with all the maps from the first game, and anything you unlock in the second game you can bring into the first maps as well to mess with them, which is really cool. And there's also some like sort of quality of life improvements. But I think that they've realized that like the quote unquote story that they have around between the missions is actually quite serious. But like all the challenges and all the dialogue and all the other stuff is like just jokes. Like not like ha 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 ha, but like very veiled like hilarious stuff that you like listen to it a second you're like, wow, that's actually really really funny. Some of it's very clever. Some of it's very dumb. Especially like the fact that they super like lean on the fact that you knock out a guy and steal his clothes and suddenly everyone just thinks you're that guy. Like because like in the old Hitman games they just didn't address it. And this one they're like, is that guy the same guy? It's like, yeah, no, he's always looked like that. What are you talking about? It's like there just happens to be a lot of bald guys in this universe. It's the best thing. My favorite thing about the very first level of Hitman 1 is you're at a fashion show and the main guy there, his name is Helmut Kruger, and he's like this big fashion icon, but he just happens to be a bald guy. And so you just happen to choke him out and go into makeup and you walk out, do the catwalk, strut out, you do everything. And then so just throughout the later episodes, Helmut Kruger just gets referenced. And it really comes to a head in the 5th episode where there's a guy who wants to look more like him, so he goes in for plastic surgery. So what you do is you choke him out, put on his outfit with the bandages on so you can sneak through security. And then when the guy takes him off, he's like, wow, the surgeon did a great job. You look just like Helmut Kruger. It's like you've never been under the knife. It's so good. Like, yeah, like it's yeah. Again, the achievements are a little bit grindy, and having to redo levels a lot getting mastery on all the levels is a bit much because you have to do like a lot of challenges, which means repeating yourself quite a bit. But if you're just doing like the story missions, like there's essentially like they have these opportunities or mission stories in each of the levels. So in the old Hitman games, they would just chuck you in and say, hey, figure it out, basically. Here's a couple of... Okay.
What is going on?
Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. Oh, okay. Apparently there's been a COVID out.
Matt has now gone into lockdown.
Yeah, I literally, yes. Apparently we're going back into level 3 lockdown. So, all right. Cool. You heard it here live on the show. I'm not leaving my house. Cool. Great time to move. Anyway, I'm not editing it out. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
So...
Was that actually what was...
It's 100% what
that
that was. It was the emergency alert from my phone telling me that we're going back into lockdown.
Because I I quickly just went out for 2 seconds and then I saw a message saying, yeah, New Zealand's just had 4 reported cases.
Yeah.
And weren't you guys just celebrating the other day? 102 days.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway.
geez.
So, yeah, I would say what was I saying? So Hitman. So, yeah, the original Hitman games, they would throw you in there and say, okay, here's kind of an idea of one way you might want to do it. Whereas this game's like, you can do that, you can turn off all the assists, but it's a bit overwhelming. If you kind of want to get an idea of how a good way of assassinating your targets, here is some breadcrumbs. Like, here's a mission you can follow. So, for example, the first one was, okay, yeah, dress up to be like Helmut Kruger, and then after the show, the main guy will walk out onto the stage to do a presentation, and that's when you've messed with the lighting rig for it to drop on him and kill him and just crush everyone in the area. My favorite one in the first game was you can set off the fireworks show, and the guy wants to go and see it, so he runs out onto out into the doorway on the bottom floor, and his wife, who's your other target, runs out on the balcony above him. And if you happen to be there at the same time and none of the guards are looking, you can push her over the balcony, and she falls and kills him, and they both die, and it looks like just a terrible accident, and you just walk out. There's also a way for like killing them by dropping a toilet on them. There's all the kind of stuff. But like they did give you a free level in the second game, and it was interesting because it was actually set in the Hawke's Bay in New Zealand, which is really cool. Because they get the environment like just right. It's like set on a beach out in the Hawke's Bay, and it's in like a safe house, and you go in there and you kind of figure out like, okay, there's this person you need to assassinate. You get an idea of how the safe house works. And then once you do an objective, suddenly the target comes back with all of her guards, and now you need to assassinate her and sneak out of the house. And so I did that by like setting off a bomb, so she went into a safe room, and then put poison in the like ventilation shaft, so she just choked herself to death. There was one
It's
where
like Panic Room movie.
yeah, exactly like that. So like again, a lot of it's like movie references and stuff like that. But anyway, I won't get too deep into it because I've talked about it too much. But yeah, really, really quality game. Like if you see the like gold edition or whatever it is for the second game, pick it up because it has all the stuff from the first game and more. Yeah, but I'm going to be playing it for a long time because there is a lot of content. And then the last thing I've been playing is Soul Calibur 5. I'm on my 360 cleaning up my non-backwards compatible games. And for some reason this one isn't backwards compatible. So, yeah, I've been getting through that. One of the achievements is for this quick battle mode. You need to get all the titles from all the different AI enemies, which involves fighting 240 enemies. It's a slog. It's a real slog. And the enemies go up in difficulty, like there's ranks for them. I've done all the beginner level. I've done most of the intermediate. I think I've got maybe like 80 more to go. And most of those are the hard ones. So what I've been doing is using Mitsurugi, the samurai, and I've just been using the up and RB attack, where essentially it's like a jump and a spin, and he comes down with a sword, and you just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And I'm just cheesing my way through it as quickly as possible. Doesn't work 60% of the time, works every time. But again, that's just going to take time. The game is very grindy, unfortunately. Even when I've finished all those, I've still got to grind up to like level 99, which involves just doing fights over and over again. I've still got to do 2,000 attacks, and I still have to walk. I think it's like walk a marathon or something in terms of like moving around the stages, like added up. So there's a lot of like circling enemies I'm doing. I'm just trying to stretch it out as much as possible. But yeah, that's going to take me some time. But it'll be good to have it off my tag. I'm trying to really work on the 360 stuff at the moment, but it's hard to be motivated to go back to those games because there's a good reason why I haven't finished a lot of them. I think I might do State of Decay next, but I really didn't enjoy it playing through the first sort of bit. I don't really enjoy the sort of procedural nature of that. I much prefer a sort of more crafted experience. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that puts me at 1,410 for this week.
Not bad. I'll bring up the rear in terms of Gamerscore, but I actually had a pretty good week in terms of game completions. So I got the final achievement for Halo 3. That was a 0 Gamerscore achievement.
Well
it.
worth
7. Oh, just yeah.
The old light
It
switch.
didn't scan in for like 4 days because I didn't get another Xbox 360 achievement until then. Finished all of Donut County in the meantime. Didn't scan it in. That is a little bit weird. I haven't uninstalled it yet, Cameron. So if you want to go back, I have it installed.
Hopefully I can unlock it.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise, I'm going to forever blame you.
I helped Dean get all the way through his 50, and I was still earning EXP. So
Then
I don't know.
why can't I earn it?
Someone
Because
probably reported
Because I forfeited so many games to help you.
I forfeited more games to help Dean.
Oh, yeah, after you got your achievement.
Yeah, but I'm still getting EXP now. I can still get
I'm
EXP.
not.
I can still
I'm not.
All right,
I don't know.
all right,
You
children,
don't need to
come
rub
on,
it
come
in.
on.
My open wounds have enough salt in them.
No, that's all. Well, I finished Halo 3, so that's done.
I'll finish MCC one day and I won't have Halo 3 done.
Oh boy.
I finished Donut County, which I've already talked about.
Good on ya. Did the achievements glitch? That was done.
No, they didn't. That was just fine. They all worked as they were supposed to.
That's good.
I finished Doom Eternal. No, the achievements didn't glitch on that either.
I was going to
good,
say,
good.
there's DLC coming up for that.
Yeah, I saw there's a release at the end of the month. I'm really hoping that there are no more achievements.
Yeah,
turning
I
into
doubt
God
it.
of War.
They put achievements in all the other
I
DLCs.
doubt it too. But look, I can hold out hope.
like
If
achievements.
having said that, it looks like a story related DLC.
Oh, okay,
So if
cool.
there are story related achievements,
Go against
I'm
the
okay with that.
gods.
So the last two achievements I had was the extra lives mode. So I talked a little bit last week about how there were 51 lives in the game and I died 2 times. I did not die any more times.
All right.
Or maybe it was one more.
right.
It was
That's not
either
bad.
no more or one more. But I only needed to finish the extra live playthrough with 10 lives in the bank and I had 51. So well and truly met the requirements for that. And I finished up the multiplayer kills with Fighter Chip and X Neo 21X. I think
So I'm sure you mentioned this last week, but to get the extra lives, it's like picking them up off the map, yeah?
yeah,
Isn't it? Yeah, okay.
I just followed a video guide that was just the extra lives.
Ah, okay.
Alright, cool.
So that was it. And most of the other stuff, like the Sentinel crystals and I remembered where most of the Sentinel crystals were, but some of them like 2 or 3 of them I had a look at where they were. And the Praetor suit points, you don't need all of them, don't even need half of them or a quarter of them to get a decent build. After halfway in the game, I questioned whether I was actually going to collect the suit points because I'm like, what am I even going to spend it in? I've upgraded my grenades, I've upgraded a couple of things that I need. I don't need anything else, but I think...
Do you
Yes.
recommend it, or
I was going to say, after playing it, I don't think it's worth the full price.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to get me wrong. It isn't a bad game. And I've said this about other games before, but when you compare Doom Eternal to the Doom of 2016, they are very, very different experiences. Neither of them are bad. For me, I personally preferred the Doom 2016 experience in that there's no real platforming to do and jumping between things and swinging from monkey bars into the air. It seemed like for Doom Eternal they tried to go a different way and iterate on the game. It didn't hit with me. That doesn't mean that it's a bad game, because it certainly isn't a bad game. It works really well. The combat is very fluid in what they're trying to go for. It just wasn't what I wanted from the game. But having said that, if I had my time again and I knew exactly what I was getting myself into, I'd still play this game. I just probably wouldn't buy it at launch for $100, because I think the original Doom is on sale for $10 in the sales this week, and if I could get this game for $10, I'd feel like I got an absolute bargain. That's well down the track, but yeah, it's definitely not a bad game. It just wasn't what I was expecting, and I hope that when they make the new Doom game, whenever that comes in 5 years' time or whatever, that it leans more towards Doom 2016 than it does Doom Eternal.
so Doom is on sale for 50% this week at $17.47, or if you wanted to get the Doom Slayers collection, pay an extra 50 cents for 2 free and Doom 1993 as well.
Are you looking at Australian dollars?
I'm looking at Aussie.
Yeah, I was thinking it was $9.99 US when I looked at it.
It's a great deal.
Anyway, I finished Left 4 Dead. Had my session to finish that one up. So Left 4 Dead, including all the DLC, is done now. And I've got one other game. If anyone has played full Mojo Rampage and wants to play it,
Mojo Jojo.
yeah, you tagged me in
Dun,
Discord
dun,
with Mojo Jojo. I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I thought maybe you tagged the wrong person, or it was an inside joke I didn't understand. But then when I talked to you later on, you're like, you didn't even respond. I'm like, I didn't know what
You
you
haven't
were
watched
talking about.
Powerpuff Girls.
he's not a
Of
big
course
fan.
I have. I love a Powerpuff Girls. It's one of the best animes
Mojo
going
Jojo.
around. I know who he is, but I didn't understand why you just wrote at ProfessorPluto and then put a picture of Mojo Jojo. I'm like, can you give me a little bit more information here, Cameron? Because I
No.
don't know.
No.
So it's a twin stick shooter. It's a roguelite. It is I don't want to say it's very difficult, but it's not an easy game. Like, the enemies hit you hard, and it only takes a few hits for you to die. But if you get the right power-ups, like you can, heal 1% of your health on a kill. You can make the healing items drop more often, this kind of stuff. So it's not an easy game, but if anyone hasn't and they want to play it, just let me know, because I feel like most of the achievements that I have left are for finishing the game on harder difficulties, and I can't even finish the 4th and final level on the main difficulty. So
Right.
Hey,
I think
Matt,
that's because it's because I'm playing it by myself.
it looks like bloody zombies. Don't trust him.
Yeah,
Don't listen
no,
to
I mean,
him.
I
Don't make the
can see. I
mistake.
can see that Chin's played it and he hasn't finished it, which is not a good sign.
Oh yeah, Chin played it with me. I should go and play that with him some more. Chin, when you listen to this, let me know when you're ready to play.
Could be a while.
He's played more than you've played more than him.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting close to max level. I think max rank is 15, level 15. And I think I'm level 12 now, so I'm getting pretty close. But yeah, I'm just not sure how doable much of that game is by yourself. Much, yes, like you're saying, bloody zombies.
Love these achievements. Complete all the quests in hardcore. Complete all the quests in annoying. Complete all the quests in definitely not easy. Complete all the quests in what the hell is this difficulty. Complete all the quests in this is voodoo difficulty.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is voodoo! I just kicked
No.
my desk, so that might come through on the microphone. I don't know.
Don't you feel smart?
Yes.
So how much game score did you get for the week, Alex?
1,250, and I now have 30 achievements left to hit 95%.
All right.
I've decided that I'm going to get most of that 30 from playing Wolfenstein. I think I have, not including the Mein Leben achievement in the base game, I have more than 30 achievements
Okay.
to finish that. So I might just knuckle down on
You should do it for fun.
it. Do Mein Leben.
Get to 95%, then do Mein Leben.
Oh boy.
Nope. That's not my idea of fun.
Look, you won't go lower than 95% after if that's the only achievement you're working on. Yeah.
Don't listen to him. That's like, look.
No, I'm
My
not listening to him.
Leben is not something I would wish on my worst enemies, let alone my friends. So,
Well, I mean,
having
if
said
my
that,
worst enemies are playing on my gamer card,
yeah, okay, fair point.
then maybe then you can have that.
I'm my own worst enemy because I started that game and I was like, oh, this will be fun.
We played, Chin and I played some Rocket League this week, and we got talking about the percentage completion. He's like, "Do you like being above 90%?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
Yeah, him
So-
and I did the math, but we won't tell you about it. We'll yeah, we'll just
The thing is, I'm not sure if Kirby's just trolling me, because
he
he is very want to do
Yeah,
that.
he
But
would.
I also think I had a look at my whiteboard, and I'm looking at the things. I'm like, okay, I'm about 150 achievements per DLC point. And I'm like, okay, I need about 20 in that one and 30 in that one. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe 1.5% was low, but surely it's not more than 5%. Like, it can't be. Anyway,
Nah, there's no way. That would be ridiculous. I think he might be trolling you a little bit.
yeah. But we actually had a real good session in Rocket League, and I think he put some of the clips in the Discord today.
Yep, saw those.
So, yes. All right. Well, we should talk about some sales of things that are happening. I didn't put these in here, and I actually haven't looked at a recommendation for this week. Oh, super prepared.
So I was going to say, saying that the recommendation's pretty much the same as last week. Most of the stuff in
to
the
be
sale
fair, the
is
sale
repeat,
is
yeah.
pretty shocking. The only thing that I can see in there is I put Outbreak, The Nightmare Chronicles is 50% off, $2.49. The Station, 70% off, $4.49. And Whispering Willows, 70% off, $2.99.
I was going to say games potentially pending delisting will be Forza Horizon 3.
Maybe.
Maybe. Saying that going by the history books, Forza Motorsport 6 was discontinued last year, I believe at the end of September, and the year before that was Forza Horizon 2.
Yeah.
If this trend continues, I would dare imagine Forza Horizon 3's DLC will get delisted by the end of September, so I would pick it up now whilst it's on sale.
Yeah, now's a good time.
Saying that, it's Aussie, you love it, everything except for that bloody Blizzard Mountain achievement. God, I hate that so much. It's like I wanted to get the series done, but I don't know if I have the patience to go back
What?
for another 6 hours to try for that one achievement.
One day.
One day when I have my hair is grey and I'm in my retirement home, you can see me racing along the beaches of Bondi.
Tanky Tanks is in there as well. That's an easy one.
Yes.
That's a good
Pretty
easy
easy,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's $3.89. 35%
But yeah,
off.
a lot of these games are pretty much the same as last week. In terms of recommendations, I mean, not for Gamerscore, but Wolfenstein games are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want Gamerscore, New Order is a really satisfying completion.
And it's good. It's like
in
a
my
good
opinion.
game as well. I think the only one I wouldn't recommend would be the second one because of Mein Leben, and actually in general, like I didn't think it was a great game.
I haven't played Youngblood yet either, but I do own
that
it.
would, yeah. That's
Is that co-op?
yeah,
Youngblood?
it is, but it's
Yeah.
kind of a different game, really.
Yeah.
Um,
I know it's a different game. I just can't remember if it was co-op.
Yeah.
I would
Quickly-
be open to doing that somewhere down the track.
Quickly going through, Fallout 4 is 70% off for $12.
Same as last week.
Same as last week. Dishonored games are heavily discounted.
Doom, as I said, Doom 50% off, $9.99. That'll be my recommendation for the week.
You know what? The Walking Dead Michonne, 75% off for $4.31 Australian.
It is. It's short and it's easy, and it's in terms of Telltale Gamerscore, it's probably the best bang for your buck.
Yep. It's. I'm not. I didn't say it was good.
It was fine.
Didn't say it's okay. It's passable and it's quick. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, and Black Sad Under the Skin is 60% off for Windows at $24. If you want to have no idea how to get the achievements like I am going to, that is going to be my 500,000.
Okay.
Decided on
All
it.
right.
Good
I
luck.
will not complete it.
So, Matt, did you tell anyone your recommendation?
Yeah, so I'm recommending the Arcane Anniversary Collection, which includes Prey, Dishonored 2, Dishonored Death of the Outsider, and Dishonored Definitive Edition. 70% off for $29.99, so that's a great deal for all of those. Just be careful, though. Dishonored Definitive Edition comes with the Dunwall City Trials, which is one of the hardest DLCs on the site.
Really?
Yes, it is very, very challenging. I have yet to finish it on the Definitive Edition or the regular edition. But Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider are fantastic games that definitely deserve to be played, and they're relatively easy. And Prey, the base game, is relatively simple. The DLC for that is a little tricky. I've gotten about halfway through it. But again, Arcane make fantastic games, and I'm so glad that they do. That they sort of carried on that tradition.
I'm looking at the Dunwall City Trials DLC. It's got a ratio of 4.5.
Yeah.
About that, which for DLC seems not too bad.
Yeah, although it would only count people who had started the DLC, so you still,
Yeah,
you still have
exactly.
to earn an achievement in it.
Yeah, 17%.
Dunwall
have
City
completed
Trials
it.
are not as hard as everybody says. There's 3 slightly hard ones. Daredevil, Be My Hand Alone, Headhunter. But all can be gained about after an hour and each.
An hour in each, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah.
Alright,
I'm pretty sure Valak wrote that, because he's done them all.
Sky Maniac. Oh, Valak's done. Yeah, that must
Valak
be
has
easy.
done all of them, and he loves to tell people about it.
He's going to talk about it in the Discord now.
Yes, he definitely will. Love you, Valak.
All right.
He'll tag you. He'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
All right, let's move on.
We'll start moving to wrap up the show. We've got a question from Isaac here as well. So, hey guys, my phone stopped working recently, so I had to get a new one. I was only 2 achievements away from completing that terrible Forza mobile game. I hope that wasn't on your recommendation, Cameron.
No. Look, I'm still going for this as well, but I just don't have the patience.
Well, he said on his new phone, it wants him to start over from scratch. He said at this point, he said it might be faster or easier to take my old phone apart and see if he can fix it. Oh boy.
This is
any
why
idea-
you always play phone games on the PC. No buts.
Any
You do
idea
this to
how
yourself,
long it
Isaac.
takes to finish that game?
What was
Forza
the
Expert?
I'm pretty sure Was it Sangrias that did it? The Kirby was telling me about in like a year, like 9 months, something like that.
It was a long time.
Jeez.
What's it called? Forza Street. That's it. 200 plus hours. Yeah, definitely 200 plus hours.
Is it quicker than Gears Pop? I mean, that's the question.
I mean, just about everything is quicker than Gears Pop, to be fair.
Last update broke the game. Lovely.
Oh, great.
That's no good that you can't download your save.
Yeah, no, the saves, so, yeah.
I wonder if he's able to... I mean, his phone's busted, but if he had like an SD card... I remember when I had a phone that I played games on, I had all my saves on an SD card.
Not with the Windows Phone,
So you could-
unfortunately. Do you want to finish reading the question there?
Yeah. So have you ever had any bad game crashes, console failures, glitches, bugs, etc. that made you give up on a game that you were close to finishing? If so, what? And did you ever go back and complete it?
Okay, so this is where I flip the table, right? Because this...
Oh, yes. All right. I'm strapping in right now.
Right, so
Yep.
I've had a tumultuous history with Windows Phone games, as listeners will know. From Angry Birds to Grumpy Birds to Hating Birds to Bird being the word. But
The bird is
God,
good.
I did a run of okay, I'm going to finish with my Windows Phone's games, right? Because my Windows Phone is starting to fall apart, or I'm worried it's going to get discontinued, which they did in the end. And I finished every single Windows Phone game that I had, except for 2. One of which has an achievement that cannot be... It's a Windows 7 game, but if you play it on Windows 8 or Windows 10, the game crashes when you earn the achievement, so you can't earn it. And the developer no longer exists anymore, and they can never patch it. So the only way for me to ever get it working again is to get it running on a Windows 7 phone, which I've been trying to do for a long time. But now achievements don't work for Windows phones anyway at this point. So that's one thing, and I was very upset about that. Also because the guides didn't tell you about the guide for it, and someone put a comment on the achievement for it after I started the game, like a week after. So if I had started the game a week later, I just would never have played it. The second one is Mirror's Edge, the EA game, the side-scrolling one with the touchscreen controls. I am missing 1 achievement in that game, maybe 2, 1 or 2, for the time trials. That game is delisted, cannot be downloaded on a Windows 10 phone. Only available for Windows 7 and 8 if you own the pre-existing game, which you basically can't get it anymore because those Windows 7 and 8 phones don't have the ability to download old games. I would have to do some clever stuff and put a ROM back onto it to get it running again, which I could do, but that's going to be that's another kettle of fish.
We know a guy.
Yeah, we know a guy. The problem would be is that if I was going to do that, I'd have to start from the beginning, and the achievements don't sync anymore, and the version that I have on my phone broke. The touchscreens...
And the guy's a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Even though I game share
Yes,
with him.
he's a wonderful human being, but also, the worst. Love you, Kiku. But, the other bit is that I have a Windows Phone. I have the game on there. I can start the game up. I can start the time trial. But at some stage, Faith will just stop running because it has ghost touching. So my phone keeps thinking, okay, you tapped on the screen to stop. I'm like, no, I didn't. Yeah, and it's like, no, okay, well, I have to keep swiping. Okay, swipe up to jump. Did it work? Maybe. Probably not. And so every time I play through it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And, the time trials in this game are tight to begin with. So even if I was playing perfectly, like I did originally, I only got, half of them. So the other half of the ones that I couldn't do normally... And also, there are no guides because no one made guides for this terrible game, right? So there are no video guides, and so I basically sent the phone off to get repaired because I thought the screen was broken. And when they took it apart, they're like, no, the motherboard is screwed, basically. So they put it back together, and now it doesn't even turn on. So at some stage, I'm going to have to do some sort of satanic ritual to bring this thing back to life. Otherwise, I'm never going to finish this game. So, yes, I have a lot of experience with the Windows Phone screwing me over. In terms of other stuff crashing and breaking on me, when I moved into this house, we didn't have internet for a little bit. I was playing Dark Souls 3.
Oh no, a story about Dark Souls.
Yeah, so I was playing Dark Souls 3. So you have to play through that game about 3 times or so. I'd gotten through like halfway through my second... No, I was on my third playthrough, halfway through it, and it gets more difficult as you go through. Although you get to keep your level, so it's kind of, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And then something happened with my save. I wasn't sure about it, but when I reconnected to the internet, when I finally got internet and I loaded the game up, my Xbox Live save that was synced on the cloud overwrote my local save, and I was back to halfway through my second playthrough. So I lost basically a playthrough and a half of that game. I still went through and beat it and did it all, but man, was I angry about it. You could have mined the salt for generations.
This is why you always just get a bigger mobile plan.
Yeah,
you just get bigger data. You don't risk it.
Again, I learned that lesson. There's a couple other ones where I've lost save data and had to restart things. The main one that always comes to mind for this is Lost Odyssey. So for those who don't know, Lost Odyssey was part of the Microsoft's push to get JRPGs on their platform for the 360 back in 2007. So it was this, Eternal Sonata, and Blue Dragon were the 3 big ones, with some big pushes behind them to get the Japanese audience onto the platform. It didn't really work, but there were some good games. So when I moved over my Xbox to a new one, I gave my brother my old one, and he went through and deleted all of my save files. So I was a little bit annoyed because he deleted my Burnout Paradise save file, which I was very annoyed by. But thankfully I'd done all of it but the DLC, and the DLC you could get into pretty quickly. I lost my Fallout 3 save file, but that was okay because you can kind of speed.
Didn't you just type the commands in for that one?
No, it's for the 360.
That's PC.
Yeah. But again, most of it was DLC. So, but the one that got me was Lost Odyssey. So I did the original 1000 in Lost Odyssey, got all the achievements. You basically have to get every character has to learn every technique, which involves a lot of grinding, like tens of hours. Finished the game, done with it, cool, great game, really enjoyed it. They released the DLC pack, which is an optional extra dungeon at the end of the game. Which means that if I ever want to earn those achievements, I need to go back and basically replay the entirety of it. And also, because it's an end-game dungeon, your characters need to be maxed out. So I can't just speedrun it. I need to do basically everything to get back to that dungeon if I want to do like the 100 points of achievements that are in there. And to this day, I have not been able to stomach going back and doing it. Because it would be at least 200 hours for me, probably. One day I might. But yeah, I've had a lot of experience with losing this kind of stuff, and a lot of the times it's like, I will just throw down my controller and be like, you know what? I've got a backlog of 200 games that I need to finish. I've got better ways of spending my time.
As soon as that starts to run dry, then we look at
exactly.
those.
Eventually, after it's been a few years and the memory has faded and the anger has calmed down into rather than a volcanic rage.
The anger's never going to calm down.
It's not a volcanic rage. It's more of like a simmering loathing and hatred. But that's sort of more manageable.
Like simmering 2-minute noodles on the stove instead of a volcano.
Exactly. Instead of just instead of making a baking soda explosion.
Instead of Krakatoa.
Yeah, exactly. So yes. I mean, and like people know that like it doesn't. These days, I'm on a bit of a short fuse, and it does not take much to make me very salty.
Remnant.
But oh boy,
Just play Rocket League with us.
Oh yeah, no, that's Like, this Rocket League's a controlled substance in this house. I can't do that.
All right, Cameron, do you have anything to add?
You can guess which ones are my biggest issues.
Forza barn finds.
Forza Horizon 2 was my first major pain in the ass. I went, I think, 30 hours into the game, got a decent head start, and then just same thing, cloud save just would not work. Basically started again from scratch, but I got everything, and I spent, I think, 6 weeks working on the All Your Race Belong to Us 2.0 achievement, which is every single race in the game, which I listened to so many podcasts in that time. I think that's when you put me onto UR, because I'm just like, I need something.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because it's just the same thing over and over, and there's no fast travel between the points. It's just, let's go on a convoy.
I listened to a lot of podcasting while I was playing Need for Speed Pro Street, actually.
Damn discontinued achievements.
Yeah.
Damn you, EA.
17 of them.
Yeah.
Only 17 of them.
That I started after the point without checking because I didn't think.
I started
well.
before I really knew what achievements were.
Yeah. Welcome to
Or
Graw.
before I was an achievement hunter.
Forza Horizon 3 with the barn find, obviously. In recent memory, Age of Empires 2 with the updates destroying the campaign progress, but then they've changed it now that it never used to have an indicator to which missions you had completed, but now it does, which is good. And Age of Empires 2, I mean, it's a long grind, but I love Age of Empires, so I'm not really that salty about it. Forza Horizon 3, I am forever salty. And I guess going back to our Halo 3 conversation, Alex, that's my only other one in recent memory that's hopefully it works. But
I actually just remembered one as well. It kind of counts. LA Noire, on the 360, did the original game, Original 1000. They came out with the complete edition, which had all the DLC on it. Saves weren't compatible. So it was like, yeah, it's the same game. We added the DLC achievements, but it's a completely different save file, so you need to start from the very beginning and do all of those same cases again if you want to play the new content.
Wasn't the DLC just released separately?
It was, but I was like, I wasn't going to pay for that.
So you just paid for it bundled in with the game?
Well, I mean, I just like I rented the complete edition because I was like, oh cool, I'll just, because you can choose your cases once you finish the game. I was like, yeah, I'll just load it up and just load up the cases that I didn't do because they're DLC ones. And I was like, nope, start from the very beginning. So I've played through that game 3 times now with the Xbox One version.
Yeah. Well, I've got a recurring issue with my Xbox 360. Games before a certain point, I don't have saves for anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really remember why. I think the save transfer didn't work from my old hard drive, or they did work and they somehow got deleted. I'm not 100% sure. So a lot of times when I go back to games thinking I'm at around a certain point, I've got a bit of an idea, and the save just isn't there. I'm like, oh.
There's a couple of reasons for that. Part of it is that, there's some save transfer issues, and with really early 360 games, in terms of like saving stuff, they would save to your profile rather than onto your hard drive. And sometimes that data would get lost. So like sometimes, when you start like one of those like really old, like early in the 360 generation games, it won't even ask for like your save device. It'll just pull the file straight off your gamer tag.
No, I don't even remember that. Because, I mean, I played Condemned, and I'm pretty sure it asked me for my...
Yeah, I think Condemned was one of the hard drive.
You have different save files in there as well. I mean, Condemned is one of the options here, because obviously earlier this year I played it through all the way again, and that was some save issues. I ended up figuring out that there were too many saves, potentially, so it wasn't saving correctly. And when I wiped them back to my non-cloud saving and played it on backwards compatibility, I went through, I think it was the 3rd or 4th time I went through and played that game. I'm not really sure, but got it done. But yeah, I mean, that made me a bit salty. Not as salty as you guys are talking about. Then there was the Battlefield 3 with you and I the other day, which the mission just failed for no reason.
Yep.
That thing seems.
I can deal with that though. Like,
yeah, I can deal with that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to pick up things that have happened. That was one of them. But like one of the saves that I did lose was Kane and Lynch.
Oh.
And I need to go back and play as Lynch to do some of the mission-specific achievements. So to do that, and one of them is the final mission achievement, where you have a choice. Because back when I played this, I didn't really go for achievements. So I didn't do the other option. And having said that, I have to do it by myself. So 2 controllers by yourself in this game, even on the easiest difficulty, is pretty hard. So I've got to go back and do that, but I've got to get to those points in the game before I can do it. So, yeah, I've been pretty lucky. There's Ninja Gaiden is not in this category, but it bears mentioning that it is. Well, he said, "Have you ever had any bad game crashes?" I've had bad games, not crashes, just bad.
No,
games.
just bad games. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, it crashes every time I try and do something.
Yeah.
I feel like I get caught in one of those infinite loops, like when you play Marvel versus Capcom on the machines, and they can do those combos over and over and just kill you in the
juggled.
corner.
Yep.
Yep, I feel like that's Ninja Gaiden too.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've rage quit that game. Alright, so Hawkeye Barry's written in and has a question too. So if Microsoft decided to do away with achievements for all Series X games, what would you do? Just stay with the one, go to PlayStation, buy the Series X and just play for fun, or something else? Well, Matt, you want to go first again?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've made no secret about it that I'm very torn on whether I'm going to move to the next generation or not. It definitely won't be at launch at this stage. If they got rid of achievements, like I might actually, again, I would be heartbroken because again, I put 13 years of my life into this hobby.
The shackle on his leg is gone.
Yeah,
He's
that's
free.
the thing, right?
He runs into the rainbow. Actually, have you ever seen the ending to the movie Postal?
No.
Based on the
No, I
video
have
games. So it's George Bush and Osama bin Laden holding hands, skipping into a nuclear-filled sunset.
Oh, yeah, and that's
And that's how I just imagine.
that's
you.
kind of I would be set free from this hobby. This thing has been a part of my life for the last since 2007. Like the last 13 years, it's been such a huge part of my life. I don't even know what I would do. Would I stick with Xbox? Probably, because I mean that's where all my games are. Everything's backwards compatible. I would probably be happier. I would play less games, that's for sure. But I'd play more for fun. But I wouldn't get as much out of it. You know, like I would have more fun, but I wouldn't enjoy it as much. If that makes sense. It wouldn't be as fulfilling. It wouldn't scratch that same itch.
Like, how do you know if you finished the game if there's no achievements? Like,
Exactly.
How do you know?
It's hard, right? It's like, well, you just put it down at some stage.
He moves to the harder drugs to get his dopamine.
Well, I mean, like the joke, but it's like, yeah, like I guess I'm going to be filling out spreadsheets, and I mean that's where things like the kitchen sink and other competitions come in, where it's like, well, the achievement dopamine kick isn't enough. Like I need a meta game on top of the meta game, which is why I've stepped back from that stuff because I'm like I just need to like focus on just working on my tag and just having a decent time with it and cleaning up old games. But no, I would say like I think I would probably I would get the Series X even if they got rid of the achievements. I mean I'm half hoping they do. I know they never will because there's no reason for them to ever do it. But I don't see myself ever going to PlayStation. Like I don't really see the point of it. Like I'm so invested in the Xbox ecosystem at this point, and we do this podcast, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
The Real Trophies podcast.
Yeah,
doesn't quite.
I mean, I did that gag for one episode, and it just felt bad coming out of my mouth. So,
Say that I could get a massive trophy done right now, but none of the listeners could appreciate it.
So maybe don't then.
I'll put a photo of it in the Discord.
that's fine. We can just mute him
you do,
for a bit,
Cameron?
right?
I'd stay with Xbox. Sorry, what was that?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'd probably just stay with Xbox. I mean, like same issue as Matt. All my games are here. I mean, I have probably just the same amount of games as Matt, if not more, and much less of a Gamerscore. So I still got backlog to go for years. It's fine.
I think I would stay with Xbox. I might not buy a Series X and just buy a whole bunch of games. I mean, like I said, I've been trying to get down under 50 games for how long, and now I'm at, I think if I was to delete Halo 3, I think I'd be at 35.
Wow.
So I'm getting there, and that's with
But you're not going to.
not buying many games. Like I bought Donut County, but I haven't bought a game for, I don't know, weeks, months even before that. So I'm really trying to, I can't get those 35 games done before the baby is here, which is what I initially planned to do, but I've got a hell of a lot of them done. So there's probably 40 games on my whiteboard now, including the 360 games I need to go back to.
I'm thinking about taking the whiteboard strategy and just when I get to the new place, just setting one up next to the TV to remind myself what I need to be focusing on.
Well, it's a good strategy because I've got on there. I mean, I should put a new picture of it up, But I've got the games on my Xbox One, the games on my 360, and I will often just sit there and look at my Xbox One library and go, I mean, I can't play that because I need people to play with. I can't play that because, you know. So I'm like, now it's Wolfenstein. Next it will be Zombie, and I think there's another couple of games on there. But like this Far Cry 5 I have installed, which I haven't started. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to start that because then it's going to be 100 achievements to get to 95% or however many.
You won't start that to me and Aftos have finished it.
Probably not. I think Valak and Chin have finished it. You and Aftos have finished it.
I've
So
done it as well,
no one
yeah.
else is going to come. Yeah, you did it. No one's going to come back and help me do it. So that's fine.
Aftos is getting the New Game Plus carry set up for me.
Oh, that's nice of him. Does he
he's a
know about
legend.
that?
Yeah, he knows about it.
Unless Aftos, buddy. Hey, buddy.
No, too late. Too late.
But back on Hawkeye's question, I hate the PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
So,
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I would definitely not go to the PlayStation 4 because the controllers are terrible.
See,
But
I
the PlayStation-
bought it.
Hey,
I bought a PS4 earlier on in the generation.
you heathen.
Probably like... Huh?
You heathen.
No, only for
Blasphemer.
Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age.
Which is
That was
coming
the
out to the
only-
Xbox One. Yeah.
Which came out to the Xbox
Yeah.
One. But this is like 4 or 5 years ago. And honestly, I played through that and I'm like, I don't have any desire to own a PlayStation anymore.
Wow.
And sold it.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any... Like, I'd love to play the exclusives, but it's not enough to drag me back to the console.
I'm with you.
So I'm neither here nor there. You know, everyone talks about the exclusives and it's like, oh, you've got Spider-Man. I'm like, cool, I don't care. You know,
But I mean, like, if Spider-Man was on Xbox, you'd probably try it
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
probably not.
Really?
Probably
No,
not.
I mean, like, it's
You
like
want it?
looking at
Okay.
the exclusives, like, there's stuff on there I definitely want to play. Like, I'd love to play Horizon. I'd love to play the Ratchet and Clank stuff.
Horizon Zero Dawn, maybe.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero
God-
Dawn is
God
the
of War,
closest.
God of
Spider-Man
War,
for me. That's it.
Spider-Man, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima looks alright. You know, like, there's stuff on there that I definitely want to try.
Ghost of Tsushima, I forgot about. Yeah, definitely tried that
I
out.
might play. I actually at one point nearly bought a PlayStation 3 for $60 with Last of Us just so I could play it. But then I thought I've got too many games to play on my Xbox,
Yeah.
so I didn't end up doing it.
Play Heavy Rain.
No, don't play Heavy Rain. It's trash.
No.
Play Heavy Rain.
But yeah, I would probably stay with the Xbox One for a while, and you know, there's still a lot of life in that. I mean, if you wanted to, there's still a lot of life in the Xbox 360. It's just no one to play with anymore.
Otherwise, join our Discord. We'll love to play 360 games with you. If anyone wants to play, what is it? What is it? Not Hour of Victory. What's the? Oh, it's fine. There's
Medal of Honor, isn't that?
I was
the
going to
Medal
say,
of Honor
Hour of
title?
Victory, I think I actually
Do you
own.
actually? Is it? Let me have a look. I'll try and find it.
I think I said this last time, but I still have to go for the chest.
Oh, okay.
What about Call of Duty Classic EU? Is it EU?
Yeah, DE.
No.
DE. Okay, damn, I was close, but
Do I own it?
Yeah, Hour of Victory.
time to go back for the stack.
Physical only.
Terrible game.
Maybe.
I don't know. No, it's
I've definitely not started it.
it was one of those. What was the game that Relic did? Anyway, don't worry about it. It's some terrible first-person shooter or something. We'll
Okay.
play it together.
All right. Well, I think that we are at the end of the show there.
Well, yeah, we've got some milestones to run through, but
Oh, milestones. Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was just going to let him into there and just wait 5
I
minutes
was
and then go back to
about
it.
to. I was about to. It wouldn't be a show without me skipping over something.
You saying all these people aren't deserving of their milestones?
no, you didn't even.
No,
you didn't
they
even
all-
get a
they all
milestone
are.
this week, mate. Don't even joke.
Yeah, I was going to say. I'm not in it. And you're not in it.
Yeah, none of us are.
Neomaster. No one's in it. None of us in it. Yeah.
But some of my good friends are in here. Like,
All right. Well, do you want to tell us what they've done, Cameron?
Alright, so achievements 1, we have Crunch Flake on 7,000 achievements 1. Good job, buddy. Valak, watch the sausage videos I send you. Nobody else questioned that. 14,000 gamers achievements 1.
Yep, doing a great job so far.
40,000 Gamerscore.
You're 1 for 2.
Yep. Big Al, 20,000 achievements 1. Gamerscore had 90. I still remember what you posted in the Discord that while ago. We'll never forget. 150,000 Gamerscore.
What did he post?
Just go.
No, don't
sure
open
it's
the box.
happened.
Don't open the box, Alex. Just let it go. Just let it go. I don't.
TA score. ZZ Urban Spaceman has earned 550,000 game score.
Nicely done.
Oh, that's Gamerscore, not TA score.
Yep.
What, did
Come
I
on,
say
mate.
TA?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I
it's
put it
not
under
but
TA
it's
score.
fine.
Yeah,
you got it.
my
You're good.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay, this is Alex's fault. Cool, thanks. Sabotage me. Like my Halo 3.
As you can see, I was very passionate about the milestones this
Yeah, I
week.
can tell. Yeah, you put a lot of effort in
I
there.
don't know what's going on,
What's
mate.
going on
I'm
with these
shit.
completion
I-
percentages too?
I usually put them in, too. I do a much better job than these. Jeez.
All right.
Calvera? Is it
Calevra.
No.
Bad
Calevra,
dog.
sorry.
Yeah.
Completion percentage of 72%. Aftos84 has hit 83%. I still feel like my 43% is higher. Trash Forever, 88%. And Mad Roskansky.
Rocketansky.
Dansky.
I can never say it right. Leave me alone.
Mate, he
Oh,
can't
you
calling
even
finished. I forgot you finished Kane and Lynch this
I
week.
did finish Kane and Lynch this week, yes.
Yes.
We have to talk about that. But there was, to be fair, there wasn't much to do except throw grenades at the floor for a couple
Yes,
hours.
it was an explosive session. Yep.
All right, just rip him from his milestone of 94%.
Yep.
Leaderboards, Aheze is in the top 2,000 of the TA leaderboard, and he is also in the top 5 of the Arizona Games Played leaderboard.
That's a tough one because people in Arizona don't usually go outside because it's like deadly.
Yeah.
A lot of games.
That's what people say about Australia.
I mean, that's also true though, but that's mainly because of COVID.
That's not what they
That
usually
other
say about
deadly
Australia.
animal. You can't say anything now, buddy. You're going straight back into
it's gonna
lockdown.
be- yeah, I mean, at least I can order KFC or something, but
Okay, quick tangent before we end the episode.
no
but-
more tangents.
No. Listen. They're not doing hot and spicy. It finished today, but they're doing mozzarella zinger burgers.
No, I do like
Mozzarella zinger burgers are amazing.
What?
Tangy tomato sauce, mayo, lettuce, mozzarella patty, like a deep fried mozzarella patty, zinger. and
Mate,
bacon.
we're not sponsored by KFC, okay? Like,
Yet.
Mate, I've worked there long
I was gonna
enough.
say,
to,
mate, if you get us a sponsorship, I will shill chicken all day. All right, as long as I get a bucket delivered to my house every day, I will talk about it on the podcast. All right.
Did you
So-
see that Fall Guys got tweeted by KFC to try and get a Colonel skin in the game?
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
KFC or KFC Gaming?
KFC
KFC
Gaming.
Gaming,
KFC
yeah.
Gaming, yeah.
It's not a real thing.
The console. KFC Gaming console. Oh, man. I still think that's one of the greatest tweets I've ever seen. Okay.
Amazing. All right, so if you enjoyed listening to the KFC podcast, you can catch up with us on the Twitter, on the Discord. Where else can we catch any of us?
You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on all platforms. You can leave us a review, tell your friends about us, retweet us on Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube or Patreon. Cameron, where can people find you?
I was going to say, just in regards to the reviews, do you want them to send them to us directly and we can read the reviews?
Do both.
Because
Do both. So
Do both.
Leave
Do
the
both.
review
There
and
we
then tell
go.
us you left it so we can go look for it because our review aggregator has disappeared.
disappeared.
Yes.
Kirby couldn't pay for it
No,
anymore.
he disappeared. Okay, he disappeared.
He disappeared.
All right,
into the
if you
trap.
want to catch me, you can catch me on the Twitter under the Real Gamerscore podcast, otherwise under Shadowless Edge. You can catch me on Xbox, TA, or I guess not Mixer anymore.
No, not Mixer.
I need
Mixer's
to
gone.
stream again. I need to stream anymore. Now, I stream on Facebook. Yeah, I'll be in the next big Facebook gamer. No, yeah,
Isn't
but
that
you can
Stone Mountain 64?
Professor Pluto
Wasn't he
won,
the
I
first
thought it
big
was.
Oh, yeah. You're a funny guy. Wasn't
but
it
yeah,
Stone Mountain 64, the one who would like drop in and like start making officer calls to his teammates?
What?
Do you remember him?
No.
I don't know what you're on about.
All right, I'm
right,
writing
off
this
the
down. I'm
rails.
going to post this to you guys so you know what I'm talking about.
Off the rails. He's going to post it in RGS Champs. If you want to become a Patreon and support us, please do that because
We need some money. I'm dying.
We
here.
need-
Literally, it's the worst.
Because you've had no KFC for a while.
Yeah,
We lost
exactly.
our
Look,
sponsorship.
Look, I'm unemployed. I got no KFC.
Look,
okay,
look.
like this. The times are tough.
I mean, KFC's having it tough too. We didn't even get into the talk about the chicken shortages in Victoria.
Oh,
That's- If you want to hit me up on chicken shortages, I'll tell you all about the same.
All right, so if you want to get in contact with me, just please don't. I'm moving house this week. I'm going to be locked in. Like, I mean,
No KFC,
Perfect
no
time
job.
to
KFC,
message
there's
you.
no job.
Angry boy.
I'm gonna have an empty house because I'm not gonna be able to go out to a store and buy things to put in the house, like furniture. I don't even know if my movers are gonna show up on Thursday to move my stuff. So I'm gonna have to like get like a little like push trolley. It's gonna. I'm gonna be like in a full hazmat suit with like a bookcase on my shoulder, trying to drag it down the street while the police are chasing me for leaving lockdown. It's going to be a nightmare. So if I'm not on the show next week, it's probably because I'm in jail.
I ask one favor on behalf of all listeners. When you move into the new place, please put the fridge in the center of the room and take a photo.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have to take it out of the box, so it's going to end up in the center of some room before I open it. But yes, it'll be part of the decor. I'll hang a hat on it. Oh, God. This is the worst timing in the world. Anyway.
It's 4 people too. It's just based on 4 people. Like one family.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that.
Oh, name a shame, eh? Alex, if somebody wants to catch you,
Well,
tell them how they can find you on Twitch under Professor Pluto 1.
well, I guess I don't need to do that one, but they can find me on Xbox, on True Achievements, and Twitter, all under Professor Pluto.
Is that with a numero uno after the gamer tag, or is that just without the numero uno?
There's no numero uno. Alright. So I appreciate your guys' love for my Twitch handle.
I mean,
really
look,
do.
mate, we're just trying to get you out there. You're going to be the next big Dr. Disrespect, you know? Like, it's...
Except I won't punch on with my family.
All right, that's the end of the show. Thanks,
FBI.
guys. All right, cool. Done. Bye.
Catch you guys.
See ya.